Hold up.
Aaron.
My name is Dave. This is Joe.
I listened to that podcast and I was like, I'm with it.
That sounds really cool. And then Chris Humphrey's hard fouls and Kevin Garnett pushes him straight to the third row. Let's go. My name is Dave. This is Joe. Let's go.
This is the Boston Sports Nerds Podcast, the B.S.N Show.
Joe, you got anything you want to say before you go?
No, we have talked a lot.
We have nothing left of the tank.
Let's go.
Welcome back to the 45th episode of the Boston Sports Nerds Podcast, the B.S.N Show. My name is Dave, and I'm accompanied by my two fellow nerds here. To my right is the host of WECP,
Aaron.
And to my left is our fantasy football guy,
Joe.
There he is, host of Joe's
I don't
Fantasy.
really have a name like Aaron. Aaron can it's the 2-syllable thing.
You should go like Josie.
And he can that's guys. We've been over this.
Okay.
Or
you could just say
It's not the name.
Jose.
Yeah, but I don't go by Jose.
Or Jose, can you see?
Jose or Jose B? Jose B, yeah, right.
No,
Or
I
you
would
could just
never.
be like
That's
Polycarpo.
No,
and then
no,
that's a lot.
I don't have a name
have one?
for a last name.
Polly?
first
Polly,
name.
not for the short?
Pauly Shore?
No, you never got Polly?
No, I don't
Joey
have
Paul?
I don't have a Jay Polly was my little brother. That's what they used to call him back in the high school days.
He's got
when he
it
was
all
a
figured
quarterback or JPQB.
Yeah. I like it.
Yeah,
It's good.
No,
Yeah.
I missed out on the J. If anything, it would be Joe Polly. But
Joe Polly.
No, just Joe.
Joe Polly.
I actually went
Joe
by
Polly,
Joey.
like that's what I'm saying.
That's actually, I like Joe Polly.
Joey
as a-
Paul.
I went by Joey all through high school, and then after high school, my dad's like, "All right, you're an adult now. You go by Joe."
Oh, there you go. You take that Y off.
Yeah,
That's good for ya.
adults don't go by Joey.
Right. That's a good point.
Tribbiani, that's it.
Yeah.
That's a Friends reference, in case
Yeah, okay.
anyone missed that.
I like it. So with Jimmy G, I should have queued up the Jimmy Garoppolo song.
Jimmy Garoppolo.
He's gone. How do you guys feel?
The Galloping Chicken.
I'm
Just left the
excited
building.
about it. Is
Me
that
too.
weird?
No, I am
I'm
too.
excited to see him play.
I really am too. I think it's a
I
great
have
deal.
become a San Francisco 49ers fan.
Okay, well.
I'm a Patriots fan.
Okay,
But,
all right. Clear
you
that
know,
up. Nice.
it's the bye week, so I'm rooting for
Go
the
Niners.
Niners.
Right.
Even I don't think he's playing this week.
I was going to say, is he their starter?
No, I think it's Beathard for one more week.
One more week.
I mean, obviously not the other guy.
It's not Brian Hoyer
Who got cut? This is
who got cut.
genius level Bill Belichick maneuver.
Well, he knew that
here.
was going to happen.
Right.
No, well, Hoyer was involved in the deal at first.
Right.
He was originally it was going to be a quarterback. Like we're going to trade you Jimmy Garoppolo. You're going to trade us Brian Hoyer and a second round pick.
Yeah.
But then they realized
Hoyer's contract.
A, the Pats don't want Hoyer at his current contract, and B, there's a formula that goes into your compensatory picks at the end of the year, and it actually would have favored both the 49ers and the Patriots for the 49ers to cut Hoyer and for the Pats to pick him up. Like
Right.
it favors the formula for both teams. So Belichick probably was like, hey, first time head coach,
Right.
if you cut this guy,
Yeah.
it helps you. It helps me because I'm just going to pick him up.
Well, it's also
true.
calling up your buddy, John Lynch.
Right.
Hey, man, remember how we did you a solid and let you retire, not let you walk out
Right,
like in shambles?
Right.
Hey,
The thing is, I don't know.
Let's work on this.
I don't know if Belichick called John Lynch or
It
if it
feels-
was the other way around.
No, I feel like I definitely feel like it's Belichick calling.
I don't
Because
feel
they were
like
getting,
it was like that.
They were getting, I'm telling you right now, they were getting calls from Cleveland,
He doesn't.
and they at a certain point felt like they weren't getting a good enough deal for whatever reason from Cleveland,
I don't think that's
and they
true
decided
either.
to go with
This
don't
is
agree with
this
that.
is the thing. I think Belichick did not want to get rid of Jimmy Garoppolo. He didn't. His hand was forced, not by Robert Kraft, and I don't believe this story, this bullshit story that he wanted to keep Jimmy Garoppolo and trade Tom Brady, and Robert Kraft went over his head. Even Adam Schefter was like, no, that's not true.
Right.
He likes Jimmy Garoppolo a lot, but they weren't going to spend a franchise tag on him.
Yep.
And Jimmy Garoppolo said, reports, I would be willing to sign a long-term contract, but I want to play.
Right.
So
Right.
He's not going to play in New England.
Right.
You have Tom Brady. So, as much as you want to keep him, he's not worth the franchise tag to you.
Mm-hmm.
You trade him away. You have to trade him away. Your hand's forced at this point.
Right.
Belichick still doesn't want to trade him away, but he has to.
Mm-hmm.
I think he thinks Jimmy Garoppolo is a good enough quarterback that I think Cleveland was offering a second and a third. I really do. Mm-hmm. Because they offered a second and a third for McCarron, and it just didn't, Brown's going Brown.
Yeah, right.
I think they really wanted Garoppolo. They offered a second and a third. I think Belichick thinks Garoppolo is so good he didn't want him in conference. He wanted him in the NFC.
This is the only reason why, I'm gonna be like me being me, but this is why I blame this. A lot of the way this season has kind of been shaking out for the Patriots, I blame it on Belichick. You could have gotten a first-round pick for this guy.
I don't believe that either.
I think you had a deal with Cleveland on the table.
It was never for a first-round pick.
It was for a first-round pick.
Reports came out.
It wasn't for the top pick that they wanted.
When they traded down and got the 12th was on the board.
That's not that.
It is. They traded it away.
The reports have come out.
They traded that pick away.
The reports have come out though from Adam Schefter, from Ian Rappaport, that they were never offering the first round pick.
No, I believe that the Patriots were never taking that deal because Adam Schefter said the Patriots aren't trading Garoppolo, so the Patriots were never going to take that deal. The Browns traded away that 12th pick to the Texans
for picks,
right?
Not for a quarterback.
Yeah, but then they wound up drafting a quarterback with a pick, one of the two picks that they got.
Yeah, but drafting a quarterback
so you don't
and
think
trading
that the Browns
a pick
at all
for a
were interested in
quarterback.
Garoppolo?
I think they were, but I don't think they were going to trade a first round pick.
So why? But
they were going to trade a
second.
They offered a second and a third. That was what they offered the Patriots.
Yeah, because Houston didn't have a quarterback to give them.
No, they did get a quarterback from Houston.
They offered the Patriots a second and a third.
They didn't. They signed Brock Osweiler.
No, I thought they traded for him.
Did they trade for Brock?
They traded. Osweiler was in that deal.
They traded like a 6th round pick and got back Osweiler and a 2nd round pick.
Yeah, right. Okay, yeah. I'm sorry. You're right.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. That wasn't part of the 12th pick deal. Okay.
They traded away picks for a player, a bad pick for a player and a better pick.
Right. Yeah.
My point is, you should have gotten more than what you got.
You got essentially a first-round pick. You got the 33rd pick in the draft, or the 34th
Possibly.
pick.
If he's as good as you're saying he is, he's going to improve the rest of their season.
No. San Fran is done. They're done. Their season's done.
But if you're saying he's as good as he is, both of you said he's a good quarterback.
You're still between 33 and 38. That's what you're going to get.
Okay, so the other part of that, you traded away Brissett. I think you're a fucking idiot.
Why?
I think you're a fucking idiot because I liked him. I thought he's a good quarterback.
Yeah,
and I think he's better than Jimmy G. I think he's better than him.
I don't think he's better than Jimmy G.
I do.
I think there's a reason why he was third on the depth chart after seeing them both for the same amount of time, 6 quarters each. He was still third on the depth chart.
Yeah, but he also has only been on the team for 1 season. Garoppolo's been there for 3.
I just don't think he has the same. He is not the same kind of player, and he's not as accurate as Jimmy Garoppolo is.
I agree. I don't think.
I also think with the way your offensive line's been playing, Brissett's a better choice than
probably
Garoppolo.
True. Yeah. But Garoppolo's way agile.
No, I'm not saying he's not. I'm saying if the play breaks down, I expect Brissett to be able to at least make a move to get outside faster than Garoppolo.
I think you're seeing, especially with the way New England's been playing recently, the way Tom Brady's been playing recently, that you don't actually have to be able to run to keep the play alive as the play if the line breaks down.
Brady deserves a fucking goddamn Medal of Honor,
a Heisman Trophy after that.
Something for all the fucking sacks he avoided last week.
He was on.
He is a
elusive motherfucker,
genius in the pocket.
Yeah,
literally a genius. I've never seen someone operate within a pocket.
What I'm saying is,
but the thing is, I actually think that the offensive line is designed to play the way they are playing. Especially against the team, against the Chargers, with how good their outside edge rushers were. Mm-hmm. I think they were actually letting the outside run themselves right behind.
Right,
and then Solder would literally push them backwards.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And the only time you ever saw Brady really get in trouble was when he couldn't move up.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
It was when the pressure came up the middle. But if he could move up, he just stepped up.
He steps into his throw that way. Yeah. I think we're all grasping at straws because we don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know what other deals.
Remember-
on there. I don't know if he shopped him. I don't know if he got called. I don't know.
Call back to I think it was like my third episode on here when I said, or maybe my second, when I was like, I think when the Jimmy Garoppolo trade is done, we're going to look back at it and say,
yeah, we're going to be underwhelmed by it. Right.
it's whatever. They got what they got.
Yeah.
Instead of like, the first overall pick in the draft or
Right. Yeah.
they got
See, I never thought that was
second round
actually
pick.
on the table.
Right.
The first pick was. I always thought that people were like, "Oh, come on, you're gonna get them." No way.
What was it? Their 9th
This is
originally,
what-
and then they traded down
Yeah.
or 12th.
what
or whatever
happened
it was.
is Sam Bradford got traded for a first round pick. And
And
then
a
after
third.
that happened, everyone was like, well, there's no way they don't get less for Jimmy Garoppolo.
Right.
You have to remember, Sam Bradford has been in the league. You've seen a quality season from him before he got the first round pick traded for him.
Right.
And he was a first round pick to begin. He was
He was the number one. He was the number one pick.
So
he left the year before they did the salary cap for rookies.
So he was
Because
the-
he
So
wanted to get
he
paid.
was the last max out guy.
Yeah, he
yeah.
wanted
He
to
was
get
the
paid.
number one pick. He put up an okay season.
Yeah.
Then he got hurt. Then they traded him
Yeah.
for a first round pick.
Right.
Jimmy Garoppolo was never a first round pick. He played 2 games,
Right.
a solid preseason. So it's really hard to ask for a first round pick for a guy that was never a first round pick and has only shown limited tape in the NFL. So it's like
Yeah.
people have been burned by. You saw it with Castle, you saw it with Hoyer, you saw it with Mallet. They all looked okay in preseason.
Right. The Patriots system, they run that bulletproof tiger of a system that they did when Brady first took over and when Castle took over when Brady was hurt. And it's that 37, 50 yards, 25 touchdowns, 12 picks. If you go back and look at Castle's numbers in 08 compared to Brady's numbers in 01, 02, 03, 04, he started to really mature and start taking past level. They're the same stat line. You know what I mean? And that's where they do the dink and dunk and the 5 yards at a time and everything's safe.
I think where
And even in 08, that's why Randy Moss didn't go for 23 touchdowns, because the difference is that Tom Brady was great then, and the system was for 6, 7 touchdowns for your number one wide receiver. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a bulletproof tiger. It always works. It's West Coast offense. It Bill didn't invent it. It's just the West Coast offense.
the difference, though, between a Matt Castle and a Jimmy Garoppolo is what we've seen in Jimmy Garoppolo, especially in that Miami game before he got
Real
hurt,
good.
is the ability to torch someone.
Right. And run the offense that Brady runs now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because they didn't have to revert
and
it. They didn't fall
effectively,
back.
very effectively torch someone.
Right.
So
He
and
would have
you-
thrown like 5, 6 touchdowns in that
Yeah,
game. Because
and
he had
I mean-
3 in 2 quarters.
You never really saw that in Matt Castle. Matt Castle was very safe, very short, very methodical.
Yeah. 2 touchdowns,
And
1
Jimmy
pick,
Garoppolo was out
220 yards.
there
Aaron's
hucking the ball
Alex
around.
Smith,
Alex Smith, right? Yeah. One of the, exactly.
game manager.
Game manager, right?
No,
Yeah.
but the only thing that I'm happy about this trade is now we get to see who's the better quarterback. One's playing in fucking Indy and one's playing, and you can't say, oh well, the Niners are done. Fucking Colts are done too. So
yeah,
I think the Colts trade was genius for the Colts. Absolutely genius.
for the Colts.
For the Colts.
Yeah,
You traded away Philip Dorsett, who wasn't doing anything in your offense anyway.
Right.
His position was already there pretty much with T.Y. Hilton. You had the same exact player.
Yeah.
You
And
trade him
a better
away.
one, yeah.
You get a quarterback to serve in the interim until Andrew Luck is back from injury, and then you fucking trade the quarterback away.
Right.
or
then
you
get-
keep him as your backup.
Yeah. Or you keep him as your backup.
Because
But
he's still under contract.
But I
obviously.
think he's going to be too valuable on the open market after showing what he's shown, the ability to lead an
you'll be able to
NFL
get-
team.
Yeah.
At
At
least
this point, I think you get more for Brissett than you do Garoppolo.
now because
You know what I mean?
he's
Because
put
he's
up
been starting
solid
for a
tape
stretch
and
and-
he's been competing. You know what I mean? I
Right.
mean he's been blown out a couple times, but
Right. Yeah. But
he's
you can't
won
control.
games.
Yeah.
He's
in their defense, Indy's always been known for having not a good defense.
Right.
and essentially he's a rookie. I mean he has
Mhm. Yeah, he's
he has one game of
There's like
experience.
75 minutes of experience, and that's about it. Like,
If you compare what he's done so far this year to like Carson Wentz last year, I mean
right.
Carson Wentz had like 20 interceptions last year.
Right. Yeah. No, I think I like Brissett a lot. I think he's a good quarterback. I thought if you trade Garoppolo, I like having Brissett as the backup. That's fine. I get that too. I understand at the time we talked about it. They traded Brissett and said, okay, well, what does that mean for Brady now? Because it's like now your deeper contingency plan where Brissett could have sat for 2-3 years, like he could have been your reset. And I was like, okay, that's an interesting move because that must mean that they're going to keep Garoppolo, right?
Yeah,
I mean, if they're getting rid of Brissett, they got to keep Garoppolo. Now they get rid of Garoppolo. Sure, hindsight being 2020. Well, then fuck, I wish we had Brissett still. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, yeah, I get it. Yeah.
So, do you like to play devil's advocate here? Who do you like better, him or Hoyer? Brissett.
Here's what I like. I like Hoyer, a second-round pick, and Dorsett better than Garoppolo or Brissett. I like having those three things.
I like those
better
yeah.
than those two.
When you put it like that, yeah.
Yeah.
When you just say, would you rather have Hoyer or Brissett? I'm going to say Brissett. But if would you say, would you rather have Jimmy Garoppolo and Brissett behind Tom Brady, or would you rather have Brian Hoyer as your backup, a second-round pick, and Philip Dorsett? Especially now with Hogan out for a couple of weeks, Philip Dorsett is huge because you're going to need someone to step in.
Right. So I would rather have the second-round pick come in. I would rather have a backup quarterback who's a legit backup quarterback. He's your backup.
And he knows the system. He's played here before.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I just, when I watch, once again, back to my Belichick thing, I'm just disappointed every year with what he does with draft picks half the time.
See, I don't
half the time. I'm not saying sometimes he doesn't.
No, I know.
Like,
that's a big narrative too. A lot of people say that.
You traded a decent draft pick for fucking Ely. He's playing for the fucking Jets. You cut him before the end of the preseason.
That's frustrating.
You know what I mean? Like, there's certain things when you watch some moves they
You
make.
miss 100% of shots you don't take.
Yes, exactly. But you also in the first, so second round, you're talking about it's a high second round pick. We saw what he did with a high second round pick.
Got Jimmy Garoppolo.
But or fucking Rawlings.
Razai Dowling.
Razai Dowling.
Yeah.
That fucking clown.
Right.
That's what I'm
but
saying.
If you do that, if you look at every team's draft, there are so many misses.
What I'm saying is when you look at his drafting ability, his bread and butter's in like the late second, early third, in that range.
Yeah,
sometimes
you want to know
fourth.
what's great about having an early second round pick?
You can turn it into
It's because now you could turn it into 2/3 and a fourth, or two.
But I want to see them draft a guy that has talent.
I think they have Devin McCourty, first round pick.
No. That's I'm
Look
saying
at who's
you can
on the
find,
roster.
My point is
Trey Flowers was a draft product. Devin McCourty, Malcolm Butler was a free agent.
Yeah.
On the other side of the ball, well, that's just off the top. Nate Solder put up a lot of good years before he's been awful.
Yeah.
No, I'm not saying he hasn't hit on some players, but he loves to trade out of the he does. The one year that I was sitting there and I was happy to watch them do something finally was when they went and got
Chandler.
Well, or not because I didn't like Chandler coming out of college.
Yeah, but he was a double-digit sack guy.
But
he's a good player.
Yes, no. But I just never thought he fit that system.
Right, I got you.
He's too small as a defensive end to play in that system. That's my point with it. Doesn't fill that position. He was a great pass rusher, but that's all they got out of him. And I'm not saying downplay the double-digit sacks. It just didn't fit their defense.
Or what if this is the new thing for Belichick, where now going into next year
like,
in the offseason, he's going to be like, fuck the draft again.
Right.
We're going to trade this second-round pick for this defensive lineman. We're going to trade this first-round pick for this lineman.
What if he's been taking a long look in the mirror and he says, I'm not good at
but
this
you're
draft.
focusing on Coney Ely.
Oh, no, okay. Then you traded, a third round or a fourth round for Dwayne Allen?
Right, it's useless.
And, but the thing is...
He's done great blocking.
But you trade a first-round pick for Brandon Cooks.
You trade a first-round pick for Brandon Cooks, who looks fine. It took him a while, but now...
Yeah, and that's the most value.
Yeah, no, that's the bet. And you traded down for that.
Traded down for that pick? No, that was theirs.
You traded your first-round pick.
Okay, you traded yours. Yeah. But my point is, watching him, and yes, you can point out there are some moves that you're like, wow, that he really hit on that.
Right.
Like the one trade when he traded up to get Mayo.
Yeah.
I was like, finally, you went out and got a guy that can play.
Right, yeah.
Not a project at the end of the first round. Yeah. And my view of watching the first and second round and I get why people do it. Oh, well, this guy, he's got talent, but he can never fucking stay on the field. Right. He's a project player.
Right.
No, draft a guy that you know. I don't care if you think he's like a third-round talent. If he played every game in college, he's a fucking consistent player, puts up all the numbers, he's a hard-nosed player, draft that guy. If you know he can play, draft him.
This may be a rare example or whatever, or, an exception, not the rule, but what about Gronk?
No, that's what I'm saying. He has
Hernandez,
but that's also those. Gronk was a high second round pick.
Yeah,
Hernandez was a fourth round.
Hurt a lot.
Yeah, but he's still
Dominic Easley.
I was gonna say Ely, but that's another one.
Easily.
That pissed me off.
Yeah,
Yeah, but Easley is a productive player. He's still in the NFL. He's still a starting defensive tackle.
When he was
just
on
didn't
your
mesh with the
team, when he was on your team, he couldn't stay healthy. And I'm not saying,
but he did play, and he played good for the Patriots. And,
right, but no,
I
get what you're
he got hurt, but he's still in the league.
It was a little late, a little too late for him to prove to the Patriots he was going to stay on the field.
He also had like personal problems, and he wasn't a good locker room guy. But
okay, so you're proving more points of why you shouldn't have drafted him.
But he's still a good player. He plays. He starts for one of the best defensive lines in football.
I'm just very. This season has made me question a lot of stuff about Belichick.
Can I just ask you a question though to supersede there?
Yes.
Or to interject? You know he's won 5 Super Bowls and just won one.
Yes.
Wait, but why are you questioning him?
Because I've watched a lot of the moves that he made this year, and there's nothing. I've already stated.
Are you going to say none of them worked out? Because they're 6-2 without their best offensive. In my opinion, their best offensive player, the one that makes the offense tick, is gone.
Yep.
They're 6-2.
What is your excuse?
And they're 6-2, and their defense has gone from literally the worst ranked defense in the first 4 weeks to a top 15 defense.
I think they're top 12 since Tampa. That's what I read.
So I mean, they don't have their stud corner who they signed.
Hold on, I was gonna say, who's the one player that's been missing from that equation defensively?
Gilmore got hurt. Yeah,
Gilmore's been gone, but
you
in
took
the
a guy
Tampa game,
off the field
the last
that
time
you spent a lot of capital on, a lot of your cap room on this guy to come in and not do what you wanted him to do.
You could say the same thing with Rowe though.
Yeah,
Rowe's been hurt for the same amount of time.
Yeah, but that was another one they traded away a draft pick.
But it was since the Tampa game, and Gilmore was there for the Tampa game and played pretty damn well.
And he was dinged up at the end of that game, I thought.
Yep.
Yeah,
he was.
Yeah.
That's when he got hurt. He could have played last week, and they chose not to play him because they were like, "We'll let him get one more week,
or
he'll be
a hot hand.
He'll be 100. He's gonna come back. There's no way he makes your
too much
defense
money
worse.
Yeah. I think it's more along the lines of what you've said to me before. They don't mesh. I think he's a liability at times.
I agree with that.
I think you see. I think when you see is the guy that you've been training on your practice squad, you brought him up to play special teams, and he's been just learning how to play defense the way you want him to. Watching
John Jones,
Butler, watching a McCourty how to play secondary in this defense, and not coming in going, "I'm the highest paid guy on the team."
I think you are watching the coach who's the best at halftime adjustments, make an adjustment on the way he calls defense, and especially with that specific guy, and he's going to change to his strengths. Because that's what Belichick's always been good at, about catering to his players' strengths.
Yep.
And Gilmore's strength is not the same kind of defense that Belichick runs. Now, granted, you could say Belichick should have noticed that before he paid this guy a bunch of money, or Belichick adjusts, like he always does, and says, I'm not going to ask him to do what I want him to do anymore. I'm going to ask him to do what he's best at. And what he's best at is taking one guy and shutting him down.
He did it with Talib.
Well, I was going to say, Talib worked out. You traded
But they weren't asking Gilmore to do what Talib did in the start of the year.
Yeah, they gave up nothing to get him, and then you re-signed him once for 2 years.
I think they were expecting Gilmore to come in and be more like what Malcolm Butler is, where they can move him around and he can take different assignments, and not what Talib is. But they were wrong.
What they should do is
they should treat him like Talib, or how they treated Darrelle Revis.
I wouldn't even put him as Darrelle. I would say you should treat him like you treated
Brandon
Browner. Just shut that guy. Don't let him move. Molest him for the first 2 yards and literally just
I'd be fine
throw him down on the ground.
I think
Browner, you just take the biggest guy, whoever the biggest guy
I think the main point of that is he needs one guy. You need to give him. You can't have where all those times where the huge play was given up was switching assignments at the line of scrimmage. That can't happen anymore. He needs one guy.
Right. Just
he needs to babysit one person.
Right.
And he did really good when they gave him that assignment in versus Tampa. They said, hey, you have Mike Evans. Right. Babysit Mike Evans.
Well, my point is you finally got a guy that does the system that you want to have.
Also, Malcolm Butler is walking.
Leaving?
He's walking. But the thing is,
You could franchise him.
No, I think I think he's
You
leaving.
could franchise him.
I wouldn't even waste it.
Well,
I
I
wouldn't even
say
waste
you
it.
don't have to do it on Garoppolo anymore.
I wouldn't even waste it.
No.
You got him. You got another one. His name's Badamosi.
Oh yeah.
He's gonna take.
Badamosi is good.
He's gonna take. Dude, he's been
real good.
Yeah, no,
unbelievable.
No,
and you're playing without Eric Rowe, and you're playing without the other guy who was. Look. Oh no, he's been playing.
Jones.
Is he?
Jones, yeah.
He might be the best corner you have. Because does he get thrown at?
We talked about that last week. That he is just unheard of because
whoever they put Jonathan Jones in the slot. Whoever the slot receiver is for the other team disappears.
Right.
In this week, they didn't give up a lot of yards passing. I think what's his name ended up with less than 2. Like it was like 210,
maybe
something like that. It was like nothing.
I think the team had less than 200 passing
and if you think about
because sacks and stuff. You know what I mean?
You talking about Phillip Rivers?
Phillip Rivers had 212.
And if you take away an 87-yard run by Melvin Gordon, they shut the run down too.
Right. Yeah, they wound up like 124, 134 rushing yards.
Well, he ended up with 132.
That's 50. That's 50
team
yards.
ended up with 157.
157.
Yeah, if you take away the 87 yards, you're
50 carries or 50 yards on however many carries.
Yeah, in one play, they gave up 80 yards, which
is
the
thing. Here's the other thing. Watching that play,
yeah.
I'm sitting next to Dave and I look at him and I'm like, I think I can run faster than that at the end of that play. Don't tell me. And I heard what you said and I got it, but I was like, I've never seen fucking LeGarrette Blount get that tired at the end of a run.
Yeah.
Like, I get it. It's 87 yards is 87 yards.
Right.
You run miles in the offseason.
Yeah.
You run 50-yard sprints. Don't tell me you can't run.
Melvin Gordon has also been dinged up. I know this from fantasy football stuff. He's also been dinged up, so he might not be running
full speed
during practice a lot. Like I think they're resting him during the week and then just playing the game. So he might be a little out of game shape.
He was never fast on that run.
No.
But at the end, to me, it just kind of felt, you see him looking in that, like, how much more do I got? Is there anyone behind me?
No, it's like,
I think he's got a knee injury, to be honest with you.
It's also like watching, like, how many times we've seen guys that like cut back 3 or 4 times, and then when there's no one around them, they get to the 5 and they're like, fuck, and they walk slower. I'm like, okay.
I like when they do that, like on ESPN, if someone like zigzags, and they do like a yard tracker as to how many yards they actually ran, like including sideways or whatever. Like it's an 87-yard run, but they ran for 140 yards, or it was zip, whatever. But
he just like
that was a straight shot. And he
just literally bounced off of a block and took off.
It was like Deion Lewis's kick return. It was the same thing. Like he didn't have to do anything. Just like, okay,
just read his block properly.
Yeah, that was a good play.
Yeah, I've been very satisfied with the defense, even with the loss of Dante Hightower. I think they've looked fine.
They look good. We were talking during the game, and I said
Kyle Van Noy.
Van Noy has played really well. He has played really
well.
And
I don't think that affects Hightower. I don't think they're going to trade him away.
No, I don't think
obviously they didn't.
Right. I don't think they're going to trade Hightower either. I think they'll bring him back.
They'll just start using him in different roles.
That's what I'm saying. I think what you need to do is stop going, hey, we're going to... And I know
that's
the thing that you
They will bolster that linebacker core, though.
I know how you're like, I love how he just like that delayed blitz of them. I'm telling you, put him on the edge and just tell him to be fucking Willie McGinnis.
Yeah, just go nuts.
Yeah,
that's what you need to do. That's how I feel they should utilize him. Right. If you feel that strongly about him as a pass rusher, fucking let him pass rush.
Yeah.
Stop fucking around putting him in the middle of the field. You found your middle linebacker.
They'll start using him more of like a hybrid role.
I liked a lot of the 4-2-5 defensive setup for the Patriots.
Yeah.
And I mean, 2 guys on the field, whether it be David Harris and Van Noy or Roberts and Van Noy, whatever.
I think Deron Harbin should get as much playing time as possible.
I like him a lot.
I think he's a good safety. I think
we've said it for years. Like ever since just that guy is around.
He's always around the ball.
Yeah. Always, dude. Every fucking time. I'm surprised he didn't get that game winning.
You know
pick.
what?
I just felt like that should have been him.
I like the 4-2-5 because I think they should just convert Chung to like that money backer or whatever they call it, where it's like a safety hybrid line, because he's great. He is your tight. If you have a tight end or a bigger wide receiver, they like to.
He can stop the run.
Yeah, and you just move him down into the box a little more. And you put Harmon out there and McCourty out there. You're covered in the back.
Right.
I mean,
I think they worry about him because I think Chung, as much as he reminds me of like Teddy Bruschi towards the end of his career.
Yeah.
He knows where to be.
Right.
But his body doesn't always get him there.
Chung has the best. And me and my family talk about it
returner.
every time we watch Patriots games. Chung has the weirdest defensive coverage style, where the guy looks open, right? Chung is trailing. But the thing is, to get to that guy, you have to throw a perfect pass. Because if you're short, Chung's got it. And if you're long, no one's got it.
Butler plays like that.
So you better throw
Butler likes to slag behind and then he makes up the speed.
A perfect pass. Yeah. Because Chung is there. He's not.
Right.
The guy looks open. He looks like he has a step.
Right.
But he doesn't like you have to throw. You can make. He is open technically.
Right. If you can make the throw,
if you can make the throw,
yeah, right.
He's yours. And I mean, you saw. I think Phillip Rivers actually had a throw. It was on Malcolm Butler, where it was just a perfect throw, like it hit the guy in stride.
Yeah, was that the touchdown?
It might have been
a touchdown because we were talking about it too. We're like, oh, here comes Butler's makeup speed, like it's in the air, and then we're like, oh, that was a great throw.
It was just a great throw.
Great play.
Brady had one. The
Grunk drop.
No, the one where he hit. Was it Deion Lewis? The play breaks down and Deion Lewis kind of run and Brady hits him like in between those two defenders.
Yeah.
And it hits Deion Lewis like this, full speed.
Yeah. He had
somebody else. Who else? There was somebody else we watched. Had the ball hit him dead in the hands. It might have been Gronk.
Yeah,
it was
Gronk had a drop.
He had a big drop.
He had two big drops,
which is weird for him.
Right. I like.
I like when he does that. I'm very much this way. If I fuck something up, you can just see him like. Right, he's like motherfucking himself the whole way. Yeah.
And I like that Brady does a lot of that too. You see him, like, a lot of people. Remember Teresi said, "Oh, he's showing up as receivers." I'm like, no, he's cursing himself out. Like,
he's just motherfucking
like,
everything. Yeah, he's just pissed off.
Do you guys think Brady's looked rough?
Looked rough?
Yeah. Do you think he's looked bad?
Are you talking about his facial hair?
No, like his play.
Other than the Jets game, I thought the Jets game was not a good game. 52% completion percentage is not good. Other than that, he's been fine.
Yeah.
He's been fine, if not better.
There's been this weird narrative online that Brady's like not looked good.
Yeah, my buddy Matt, who is a Patriots hater, he's been a lifelong Niners fan.
And it might be a Patriots hater thing.
Yeah. He says to me, I don't know, something looks wrong. Like after the Kansas City game, and I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. They just got beat.
He was 32 for 47.
Right.
333 yards. One touchdown. He's
like 68% completion percentage there.
Yeah. And he was sacked 3 times. Should have been like fucking 7 sacks.
Should have been 10 easy.
And the thing is, the thing is, these guys don't watch Patriots games the same way because the avoiding of sacks should that should boost his rating. Like,
right.
You should be like, no, he has eyes in the fucking back of his head.
It's crazy.
I watched him stare at Joey Bosa in the eyes and then go, oh, I'm going to throw this dart over here because you're about to hit me.
Yeah.
So
you see him looking and
he literally looked at Joey Bosa like you're not looking downfield anymore. You're looking at Joey Bosa in the face.
Right.
And then he's like, "Oh, I know exactly where my guy is."
Right.
And he throws it.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's insane to me.
He's been sharp. I think sharp. My buddy's saying that. He's like, I don't know. He looks weird. And I thought you made a really good point when you guys were having the Patriots offense argument about the deep throws are like a 3-point shot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like the completion percentage will go down when you do that.
He is taking more chances, which some are like they ran the flea flicker and he threw the ball anyway.
Yeah.
And
love that.
I was like, I think he's just trying
create some activity.
I think it has to do with the defense being bad the first couple games. Like Brady is like, I'm sick of losing games because you guys can't stop anyone. So I'm going to try and go out and score as many fucking points as I can.
Right.
And throw these deep balls and I'm just force the issue.
He's also a habitual flag getter. Or attempt to flag.
The old Joe Flacco offense,
right? Where he would just throw it up at the end zone. Hopefully, someone gets handsy, and they're like, "Oh, well, now we're the one." So perfect. You know what I mean? Perfect. So, and they've done that a lot. They bailed themselves out a lot that way for 17 years now. You know what I mean? They always do that.
Well, yeah. Like I said with Patrick Chung, like he's going to guard you where you have to throw a perfect throw.
Yeah.
Brady's going to throw it where you have to play perfect defense, or it's either going to be a flag or my guy's going to catch it.
Right. Yep. Or make a play.
Or no one's going to catch it.
Right, yeah.
Well, also, your top 2 receivers this week were running backs.
You got to get James
White, he was targeted 6 times. He made 5 catches. He had 85 yards. Burkhead was targeted 7 times, 7 receptions for 68 yards.
That seems like a game plan thing too. Like they came out and they were throwing like.
It's easier to kind of lob it over those guys.
Almost like they know the linebackers for San Diego have trouble covering the running backs, so they were like, we're going to make sure they're involved.
That and their pass rush heavy.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
if you're
yeah.
going,
Well,
you could just
I was
throw
gonna
it
say
over a pass rushing linebacker's head
And
right
the
to the running
corners
back
for
and
San
he's
Diego are actually pretty good.
Right.
Like both corners.
They're
So maybe they're like,
safeties.
and they're safeties.
That's safety.
37.
a
Holy
day
shit.
or a
what?
die, I think was
Is
his
that
name.
it? Might be a die. Yeah. What a day he
Yeah.
had! Every fucking play. I'm
So
like, this guy's around.
that was the guy who made the diving thing
Yeah,
on
yeah,
Gronk.
yeah, on Gronk. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That guy had a day.
He got hurt at the end, towards
He
the end of the
did.
game.
Yeah, yeah. It was
Or towards the middle of the game.
well.
King, my boy.
Yeah.
Fucking watching him every time I
Right,
get a
right.
chance.
Yeah.
he had a sack. The one, like
Yeah,
one
he
or
did
two
have a
times.
sack, yeah.
The one or two times they blitzed.
Right.
They blitzed him off the corner.
They blitzed him twice. Once he got Brady, and once Brady ducked under him.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
And it was like
He
he's
was
missed that
shaking.
sack a
He
couple
was
times.
shaking and baking, man.
Brady-
Brady looked really good. So to wrap up the whole Jimmy Garoppolo talk too, we'll go right into our prediction draft.
How's your
because,
buddy feel about that? Your guy who's a Patriots hater.
I didn't have power,
Oh.
so he called me the night that it happened,
Yeah.
and I had my phone like on airplane mode. Basically, got his voicemail the next day. I didn't talk to him, and then I texted him. I said, "Hey, we don't have power here. Trying to conserve some phone life or whatever." I said, "But congrats on Garoppolo," and gave him a thumbs up. He says, "I really was calling to see what you thought about the Browns browning and fucking screwing up the McCarron trade." I was like, "Yeah, that sucks." But I just wanted to state real quick that for Garoppolo, for me, is you have a fucking path now. You know what I mean? There's no more. What are they going to do at the end of this year? And then you're going to franchise Garoppolo, and then Brady's your quarterback. Garoppolo's gone. Hoyer's your backup for 3 years. You
That's
know
a
what I mean?
weird number.
It's a weird
The
number.
3-year contract.
Right.
Is that like a hint? Like, hey, this is a
In 3
Brady.
years, we're going to draft your replacement.
No, I think this year you draft Brady's replacement, and in 3 years you
Brady's
have the
gone.
replacement.
And then Brady's gone.
Yeah.
Maybe. I just
I think he's doing 45.
I was going to say, I feel like it's like, hey, in 3 years, we're going to be drafting your replacement so he can learn from you for 2 years, and then you can ride off into the sunset.
It's clear that they don't. It's at least
Well,
3
they going to
years.
sign him for 5 years? I mean, how long do? What do
No,
you
it's
want
clear that they're expecting Brady to play at least 3 years.
Right.
though.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's at least 3.
Right.
Yeah, you're putting all your faith back into
And I'm buying
into
I'm
Brady.
buying into the Giselle thing of like, I want you to stop playing football.
Right.
So I
She
think
also wanted him to be an avocado, and he did that for Halloween. So.
exactly. So I think
It's a big move.
It's a big move. It's a power move. But
I think he wants to play 45. I think he ends up till 45. I think he ends up playing till 43.
Yeah.
And Giselle just starts really
Especially
stroking.
especially if they have success
Yeah.
for
All
these
the way
next
through.
3 years. If they win one more Super Bowl, maybe 2,
Right. Maybe 3.
maybe
Who
3.
knows?
Who knows?
Maybe 4 in 3 years. Who knows?
If that happens,
Right.
I think 3 years, 43. You already played longer than
Right.
whatever. You showed success into your 40s.
He's on pace to throw 5,000 yards.
You
this year.
smash all the quarterback records if you play
Right.
until you're 43.
Right.
Except for
That's
maybe Drew Brees, unless he keeps playing, who's a free agent at the end of this year.
Right.
So that'll be interesting.
Maybe he'll end up with the Jets.
Sam Bradford, a free agent.
Goes back to the Chargers. Phil
The
Rivers.
quarterback situation in the NFL might get really
Real interesting.
freaky.
Real
Hey,
interesting.
you know where he might end up?
Freaky is a
Hey,
good word for it.
You know where he might end up? Pittsburgh.
Freaky deaky this year.
Freaky.
At the end of this year.
Pittsburgh might
They're
make a
saying,
push for
they're
him.
saying it might be
Yeah.
it might be the first time since like 1987 that 6 quarterbacks get drafted in the first round because it's a very quarterback heavy draft this year.
Yeah.
You have Jimmy Garoppolo in San Fran.
I was gonna say,
you
that's
have Jacoby Brissett possibly on the trade market.
Right.
You have Sam Bradford's going to be a free agent. Drew Brees, a big time free agent.
Right.
You're going to have veteran quarterbacks that need replacement soon.
Oh, yeah.
And
Like
Phillip
Eli?
Rivers and Eli and
Right. Roethlisberger.
who knows if Roethlisberger's coming back. Arizona.
Right. Carson Palmer situation.
Well, I was
right?
going to say, how happy do you
Love
think
it.
Cleveland is that the Niners got Garoppolo?
The Cleveland situation is still all fucked
Well,
up.
no, I'm just saying, but like they must be sitting there going,
Okay.
well, now we can get the quarterback
Right,
we
yeah,
want.
yeah,
like,
really.
there's no possible
They
way
can
that they're
go
going to
first pick
They're
quarterback
not
in
going.
the
They're
front.
not going to draft a quarterback now.
I don't think Cleveland goes with first pick quarterback.
They go with Myles Garrett.
They might go with that running back.
They might. I don't think they. Need
I don't
it, though.
think
they
they
need
go
a
out
fucking
for
quarterback.
Isaiah Crowell has been awful.
He was pretty good last week.
awful this
15
year.
carries, 64 yards.
And
and a
then
touchdown.
what's his name? Duke Johnson played good too.
Yeah, but he's not a real bell cow.
No, but you don't-
That dude Barkley, they say,
You can
is
pick up
like
a guy.
A real deal.
that dude Barkley. It's like, oh, remember how great Ezekiel Elliott was coming out of college? Remember
Yeah.
how great Leonard Fournette was? Yeah, fuck those guys.
Right,
this
this
dude
guy.
is like the guy.
We'll
If
see.
you're better than Zeke and Leonard Fournette, two guys who have taken the NFL by storm in their rookie year, then
Right. Yeah.
you're either a humongous bust or a stud.
Okay,
Yeah, that's true.
so to stay in our division, what the hell? The fucking Bills go out and get fucking.
Kelvin Benjamin.
What are the fucking Panthers doing?
Yeah, that's weird.
I don't.
Devin Funchess has gotten pretty physical running his routes. So
Well,
you can ask
they
Cam
had
Newton about it.
two very similar style wide receivers in Kelvin Benjamin and Devin Funchess. Devin Funchess is a big dude. He's a
Right,
converted
the-
tight end.
Yeah.
So maybe they thought they did draft.
Where did they get a third round pick for him?
They drafted the kid Curtis Samuel, who
Yeah.
was like a running back wide receiver hybrid.
Yeah.
They have Christian McCaffrey,
Christian McCaffrey,
who's
yeah.
like pretty much a running back wide receiver
It
hybrid.
was like Danny Woodhead.
Yeah. So and Curtis Samuel is fast.
Yeah,
So maybe they're trying to go with a little thunder and lightning combo.
maybe.
Yeah, I think it was a third or a fourth
I
round.
think it was,
pick.
something like that. I mean,
Something weird. Like it wasn't like
for a pretty
he's
good
a first
wide
round
receiver.
pick.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
He was a top 10 pick in the NFL.
Buffalo needed a wide receiver bad.
after they traded all theirs away.
That defense.
Still, and they traded.
Buffalo was six.
What's his name? They traded. They traded for him,
Yeah.
and they traded away their defensive tackle,
Oh yeah.
freaking
Marcel Darius.
for a 6th round pick to
Right.
Jacksonville.
Right. Yeah, that makes me mad that we couldn't do that.
Yeah, why? My dad.
Why
when
couldn't
I-
we get in on that?
My
Well,
dad
because
didn't know about the
Jacksonville
trade.
doesn't compete with them all
My
the time.
dad didn't know about the trade, and I was like, "Yeah, the Buffalo just traded away Marcel Darius." He's like, "Wait, what?"
He's.
I was like, "Yeah,
they
the
cleared-
Jacksonville." He's like, "What?"
What
They
about us?
cleared
You know
up.
what it
Well, they
was?
cleared up like
Yeah.
ridiculous.
How the thing is, how does Jacksonville have all this money, dude? They sign
Do they send everybody
these
every year?
huge contracts.
defensive, and they already have a good defense.
Right. Jesus.
Like we're just gonna add more to it.
How do they have the money from Marcel Darius's contract is big?
Right. That's a big deal. It's a big deal because he shaved a lot of money in Buffalo. So
Yeah.
And what about the freaking Eagles?
you're getting JHI.
J.J. for a 4th round pick.
Right.
What are the fucking Dolphins doing?
Miami
There is
Dolphins
a-
are 31st in the NFL in rushing yards with only 500
There's a
something
thing.
this year.
There's a
Not
thing. Adam Gase does not like Jay.
Yes,
like
true.
they
Yeah,
they
yeah.
actually don't like each other.
Right.
Like it's not like I just don't like the way he plays. No, he doesn't actually like him as a person, and Jay doesn't like Adam Gase.
Yep.
They fought all the time, and the thing is, Adam Gase was quoted as like, when you have a bell cow running back, you have to give the ball to your bell cow running back.
Right.
If you're 31st in the NFL in rushing,
Right.
and you are required to keep giving the ball to a guy
Right,
who's
right.
not getting it done running the ball,
Yeah.
what good? Like, it actually pigeonholes
Right.
your offense.
Right.
Whereas you could have a worse running back who doesn't expect to get the ball that often.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just your offense clicks more because
Right.
you can call what you want to call. And instead of running the ball 30 times a game,
Because you feel like you have to. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
the thing is, you're also the head coach, dude. Like, nut up and call what you want to call.
Yeah, call a play. Yeah,
Yeah.
right, absolutely. So, yeah, for me, I like the Garoppolo trade just because it solves the problem.
Are you worried
had-
about the Bills?
No.
Should we be worried about the Bills?
Probably.
They're 6
a little
and 2.
bit.
They're the
Right.
same. They have the same record as
They
the
do
Pats.
this a lot, though, where they're good early.
And the thing is, their
Remember, they
defense.
started 6
Yeah, but
two
I
years
feel like
ago.
I feel like Kelvin Benjamin makes them better.
Oh, he does. Oh, yeah.
They-
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
I think
yeah, for sure.
Marcel Darius
Their
Darius
offense
does.
their offense is still bad though. Like
Yeah, no.
they have Shady
playmakers.
McCoy and
Kelvin Benjamin.
That's it.
And Marcius Clay. No, not Marcius Clay. Wasn't it?
Charles Clay was hurt for the. I think he's done for the year. So
Yeah. So they need to go out and get some sort of threat.
their defense. I was looking at this today because I was looking at fantasy defenses.
Yeah.
Has forced multiple turnovers
Yep.
In every single game this year except for one, and that was versus Carolina, and they held them to 9 points.
Wow.
Every single game they've had at least 2 turnovers.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
It's interesting. We'll have to see. I feel like that I don't know, the Bills, I let history do that for me. Like, I feel like they always start off pretty hot.
So the Pats have
and then they just die off.
The Pats have a bye.
Bye.
Then they come back versus Denver.
Who
Might have Brock Osweiler at quarterback,
right?
Potentially. I think they just announced actually that he's starting.
I think so. Yeah.
So
last time
I'm
Brock
actually
Osweiler
hoping
played Denver?
I'm actually hoping Brock Osweiler has a terrible game and that they go with Paxton Lynch.
Yeah.
Versus the Pats, because that'd be
great. Because Brock Osweiler's beating the Patriots.
A wonderful, wonderful thing
right.
if they went with Paxton Lynch at quarterback.
I would take that. Then they have Oakland. Then they have
in Mexico City.
Then they have division.
It's like division.
They play a lot of division games.
There's 5 out of 6 games are division games.
Yeah, they need to play Buffalo twice still. They need to play.
I can't remember who the other one is.
They haven't played Miami, right?
They haven't played Miami yet. They haven't played the Bills yet, and they've won against the Jets.
Yeah, so
they played by. I can't remember what their off game is.
They played the Chargers. They're going to play the rest of the AFC West.
Oh, NFC South, right?
Yeah, but we've already played the Saints, Bucks,
Panthers.
Okay, so
Falcons. We've already played them.
played them all.
So it must be like it's the Steelers. It's the other AFC division winner.
Oh,
the Steelers.
right.
Yeah, Steelers in there. So yeah, it goes. I think it goes Broncos, Raiders, division, Steelers, division.
Is the Steelers in Pittsburgh?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Could be a tough game.
Could be a tough one. Yeah, depending.
Pittsburgh is the number 2 pass defense in the NFL.
Yes, true story.
Jacksonville
so
is the number 1.
Now that we're talking about other matchups,
yeah,
let's move right along.
To me, all you got to do is make a decision. That's it.
Take a look inside my crystal ball.
Nailed it.
The drop is back.
Nailed it.
You have to sing, Joe.
No more.
Take a look. Oh, I don't.
You don't have to
do it. You don't have
crystal
to.
ball.
I know how much you enjoy it.
All right. So let's,
how do you know that wasn't me doing the drop?
Yeah,
that is true. He just put.
You guys have heard. You've heard my Bane. You've heard my Bane impression. It's pretty damn good.
Yeah. Quick behind the scenes update. That's been Joe the whole time.
Yeah.
So,
we actually don't have a drop.
Don't have any drops at all. We just have a keyboard right in front of us. I bang on that, and then he just sings. Joe did not win the week this week.
Yeah, so hit my music.
Dave did not hit the week this week. Aaron won the week this week. You ready?
That's
the Aaron music.
Yeah. No, I'm always half glass empty kind of guy.
It's sad for everyone.
I just want to say this. Every time I win, I never have.
What do you want for music? I can get you music.
No, it's okay. I don't need to grave dance.
Just like
this is like the longest drop ever.
No, 6 seconds.
No,
that's it.
No, I only got 3 wrong last week.
He was good. 10-3 last week, and me and you both went 8-5.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I win, I pull away.
He wins nice. He cleans up real nice.
Hey, a win's a win.
Wins
you're
a
not
win.
first, you're
okay.
last.
Not first, you're last. So let's start it off. Let's start my winning week off early. Okay, let's get this thing going. Win number 2 coming up. All right, I'm calling my shot.
The Thursday night
game.
Last time
I shot my shot, I hit it. So calling my
shot.
You've
been saying that every week.
No. I only predicted I was going to win 1 week, and I did.
You miss 100% of shots you don't take.
Right, that's true.
Okay.
Wayne Gretzky.
I say I need to get on the board.
Michael
I
Scott.
need to, but 1 week I said this is it. I'm going to get on the board this week.
So you're going to.
And I did.
You're putting it down now.
I'm putting it down now. Jot
Should
it down.
maybe do this every week if this works. Yep. I'm just saying.
Dave Dawson's going to get a second win this week. So, here we go.
Okay.
Let's do it.
So what's that? 4,
3, 1.
4, 3, 1. Yep.
Okay.
I'm on 3 games back. So, here we go.
So the Thursday night game, which will be tomorrow.
Yeah.
Bills at the Jets.
Bills.
I should have known that. Okay. Falcons at
what
the
do you
Panthers.
have? What do you have? Just God damn it with you, Aaron. What is your answer? What do you have for
the
team?
Bills?
Okay. All right.
Falcons at the Panthers.
This is a tough game.
This is a horrible game.
It's a tough game. I'm going to go Panthers.
Joe?
Falcons at the Panthers.
This is a tough one.
I have Devonta Freeman on my fantasy team, so I'm going to go Falcons.
Panthers.
Okay.
I see you looking at me.
I just want to make sure.
Okay.
He's also gotten to the point where now he's hiding his answers.
No, I just have my hand there. I'm holding the paper because I'm writing.
Likely story.
Right, it's all right.
Likely
Colts
story.
at the Texans. I write down my
know,
answers
I know.
before you get here. You see them.
I know that.
Colts at the Texans, and I don't cross them out.
Right.
Deshaun Watson, MVP.
Jesus.
I'm gonna go with the
I'm
Texans.
going to take Texans, though.
I'm taking the Texans.
The dude had fucking five
I think 5 touchdowns.
against Seattle.
Right.
In Seattle.
Will Fuller had 2. Hopkins
You know
had
what?
1.
That makes me not feel as bad about when he played really well against the Patriots.
Yeah, that's also true. Yeah,
Because
that kid does
if he
his
can
thing.
torch Seattle in Seattle,
Right.
the Patriots should be like a fucking cupcake to this kid.
Yeah, really. That's true. What do we got next?
Bengals at the Jags.
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 Same here.
All right. No difference so far, huh?
Nope.
No, I have Falcons. You guys
Okay.
Panthers.
All right, yeah.
And I think the Browns aren't playing this week, so
I'm going to pick them to win then.
the
They actually
Tampa
already
Bay Buccaneers.
real quick. The Browns already lost the week because they
Yeah.
fucking fumbled their whole trade deadline.
Yeah, no comment there. The Tampa Bay Bucks.
Okay.
Buccaneers.
Milwaukee Buccaneers. Larry Sanders. Jonas Antetokounmpo. Got it. Okay.
At the Saints.
Wait a minute. Who's the no?
The Saints are a playoff team, so I'm going to go with the Saints.
I'm going to go Saints also.
I'm going to also go with the Saints.
Who are the Bucks?
Yep.
Giannis, 10 touchdowns.
Yeah. He would be a freak football player.
Rams at the Giants.
Rams. Giants have no answer for Todd Gurley.
I'm going with the Giants.
I'm going to go Rams.
You know the Giants suspended Janoris Jenkins,
Yeah.
like a team suspension for
what?
breaking team rules or whatever.
Really?
Yeah, they suspended him multiple weeks. So I don't know what he did.
Awesome.
It sounds like they're losing
Well, there
control
goes my
of that
pick.
locker room.
Yeah, that is.
Well, there goes my pick.
So,
Well, it doesn't matter. I already wrote it down.
There you go. You
Don't
wrote it
cross them
It
out.
is decided.
Broncos at the Eagles.
Eagles, hottest team in football, and the Broncos are away.
I really feel like the Eagles are due.
I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah. I feel like they're due. I'm not trying to be hot take Dave.
You sound like Hot Take Dave right now.
I already did it last game,
Eagles
so
do.
let's.
You're going to watch.
Eagles will ride that wave,
I
I
was going to
guess.
say, after what you saw the Broncos do on offense,
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Ravens at the Tennessee Titans.
now this game is tough to pick, mainly because both teams are hot garbage.
Right. I'm gonna go Ravens. I think they have the better defense.
They definitely have the better defense.
Right.
It's like having a better defense than a kindergarten team.
It's true.
That's how bad the Tennessee Titans are at defense.
That's a start.
I'm gonna go. The thing is, the Ravens' offense is so bad. Alex Collins looked good. I'm gonna go with Ravens too.
I already said it, but I'll say it again.
Ravens.
Ravens.
Okay, that's what I'm sure.
Cards at the 49ers.
If Jimmy G was starting, I would take him. I would go Jimmy G hot and heavy early.
CJ Beathard is playing, so I'm gonna go with the Cards. This is one of the greatest quarterback matchups of all time: Drew Stanton and CJ Beathard.
So you're going Cards too, Dave?
I'm gonna also go Cards.
They just have a better defense. That's
I
really
think,
what we
I
have to
think
go
the
with.
Cardinals are a better team.
I'm gonna go hot take. I'm gonna go with the Niners.
Niners.
CJ Beathard.
If JG, you took the Niners 2 weeks ago too, right?
You think Jimmy G makes an appearance halfway through the game? Possibly. What if CJ Beathard goes out there, tosses 4 picks? First half. You think they go?
I say I think the kid's gonna go out there and be like, "Fuck it! Like it's not my job next week anyway. I'm just going out there,
just going
hog
out-
wild.
I'm going out
I'm gonna get a
swinging."
job next year.
Right.
Like that's
Going out
his
swinging.
mentality.
Yeah, he's gonna have a job next year on the 49ers. Like as the backup.
As the backup quarterback.
They spent draft capital on him. I don't think they're gonna get rid of him.
I'm gonna stick with Cards. I think they're a better team.
Yeah.
Their roster's better.
Patrick Peterson is on one defense and not on the other. So I'm
Larry
gonna go with
Fitzgerald is the best wide receiver on either team.
Adrian Peterson versus a San Francisco 49ers defense that is historically bad against the run for the past 2 years.
A somewhat resurged Adrian Peterson?
Yeah, I'd say you
mildly
could
resurged.
see a
Big AP
big
week.
game. Big game.
I think somebody's just going to come out there with like a switch and start beating him. And then
we
they're
can
going to be
all
like, now
hope.
you know what you're like.
I mean,
now you know what it's like.
We can all hope.
To go against that for a second, though, you also are playing Drew Stanton at quarterback, so you could just load the box with like 52 people. So
No, like, yes.
all 53-man roster in the box.
I just Cardinals. I had their defense on my one of my fantasy teams. I dropped them because I was like, "You're not fucking doing anything." Like
I picked them up for this week.
Yeah, but that's like the only week you'd want to play.
Oh yeah, I don't know
because they're fucking horrible.
And
the
thing is, the offense is going to be so bad with Drew Stanton that the defense is going to be on the field so much. Eventually, they just wear down. So versus a good team, it would matter. They're playing San Fran, so I picked them up this week.
Well, didn't we make the joke that like you have what's his name from that we traded there?
Jones
is there, and somebody else, right? Isn't Akeem Ayers there as well?
Oh, he might be.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just think it's funny. Like, half of like, there's a lot of these like players that you've been like, we don't need them, and they all end up in fucking. Arizona.
I would like for Arizona to pay us back and send us Patrick Peterson.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah,
just a little. Be very.
Did you see the rumor that broke
cursive.
out about Larry Fitzgerald in New England when it was just some dude with dreads?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Okay.
I would have taken that though. I would be happy if Larry.
Oh, I'll
Fitzgerald
take
was
it.
in New
Oh,
England.
fuck yeah. Redskins at the Seahawks.
In Seattle, going with
Seahawks.
Seattle. What does this mean for Kirk Cousins too? He's going to be in the
Oh, he's a free agent too, right?
potentially.
Yeah, that's another one.
He's been potentially a free agent for the past
2
years.
6 years.
Yeah. Well, who do you got?
Seahawks.
Seahawks. Okay.
Chiefs at the Cowboys.
Ooh. Is this
In
Is this a
Jerryland.
primetime game? Is this 8 o'clock?
No, this is a 4:25 game.
This is a
Chiefs.
good game. This is a good
Chiefs win.
matchup.
No Zeke, right?
No,
Suspension
they
upheld again?
no the
I think
the
he is
team,
suspended.
The Players Association put an injunction in on
Yeah.
his behalf.
I think he's still suspended though. I think
I don't know.
he got denied his. He tried to
Because I know he got reinstated on Monday,
yeah,
and then
the court withheld it, and then he tried to put the
the injunction.
no, what is it called? It's like when you can't come close.
Oh,
to
the
someone.
temporary restraining order.
Yeah,
I know what you
and
mean.
the judge blocked it. Like, no, we're not. Gonna
Yeah,
do
because
that.
that's what he's been doing.
Yeah,
right, the last
so
season.
I
Yeah.
think he is suspended.
I'm gonna go Chiefs. Chiefs with no Zeke.
But I mean, I don't really. I think Zeke is somewhat a product of the Cowboys.
Didn't they let what's his name go?
Wait a minute. Weeks ago, you said that Zeke Elliott is the best player on the Cowboys.
He
and
is. I still think he is.
but he's a product of the Cowboys.
Somewhat. Somewhat is there.
I think Dak Prescott's having the better season.
I don't know if you saw the game last week where Dak Prescott had like 140 passing yards and no touchdowns.
Yes. So you're taking 1 week. I said
He
better
has
season.
been. You are going to look me in the eye and tell me Dak Prescott is having just as good of a year as he had last year? No, he has been underwhelming. He has been
You think so?
underwhelming this year.
I think
yes.
he's actually.
I think he has been He has been worse protecting the ball,
Where's protecting the ball?
and that's what
Has
he
to
was.
do more, which
That's
is-
what
which
he
we
was.
said,
Yeah,
which we
that's
said
what
was
he
gonna
was
happen.
good for.
Right.
I think Zeke is definitely. I think Zeke has emerged more as the face of the team.
Do you think so?
He's been unbelievable this year.
No. Zeke's been good. Don't get me wrong. Zeke's been good.
I think he's been way better than Dak has.
I don't know about that.
But I mean, yes, Zeke is somewhat a product of that offensive line. Just like I think Dak is somewhat a product of that offensive line. I think that offensive line benefits a lot of that offense.
He's definitely, he has as many picks as he had all last year.
Yeah.
Right. So, which is 4. He's 14-4, mind you. It's not bad.
No, he's not. I'm not saying
not
he's
bad.
awful, but
Tom
to
Brady's
me,
what?
Tom Brady's 14-2.
he's only 14. Oh, he only had one this week.
Only one
Yeah.
this week. He's like 14 or 15-2.
Fucking Deshaun
I'm not
Watson
trying to
has
compare them.
19
Don't. I know other people
picks.
do.
Yeah.
I didn't say that.
19 picks.
Who does?
Deshaun
Or
Watson?
touchdowns. Deshaun
19
Watson.
touchdowns. I know, that's crazy. He's a touchdown machine.
And he played one less game.
I know.
Or a half less game.
That's crazy.
Now, do you think? I think he's going to be a good quarterback. I don't want to say he's going to be a great quarterback or anything like that. Go crazy. But do you think he's going to be... Do you think he's going to, like, have a sophomore slump? Do you think that's like the NFL, like most people in the NFL, they figure him out the next year?
He'll come down to earth a little bit.
I mean, relax. He's not going to have fucking 5 touchdowns every week. You know what I mean?
He'll come down to earth.
People will figure it out.
No, I don't mean that, but like he's still going to have 3 every week.
I think he'll be a good quarterback in the NFL.
I think he'll be like a regular 34 and 15 touchdown pick kind of guy.
He throws picks. He had 3 in that Seattle
one game. Yeah,
he had 5 touchdowns, but he.
So he takes chances.
For me, Dak, to just wrap that up, he's at 63% completion percentage, 1,600 yards, 14 touchdowns, 4 picks. So he's on pace for 28-8.
Yeah, I don't think he's a bad quarterback. That's never what I was trying to say.
I think he's having a good season. You're right, he's a little
down
regressed on pace.
He's regressed a little from last year.
A little bit, yeah. But I'm also interested to see what happens as the season goes on, too.
But I think the Cowboys, I think Alfred Morris is going to perform behind the offensive line.
Yeah.
So who do you think, Joe, is going to win the game?
That's a good question.
I think Kansas City is a better all-around team, so I'm going to go with Kansas City.
Who do you got? Who do you got, Aaron?
I'm going to go with the Cowboys at home.
All right.
I mean, it's a solid pick. I think this is a good game.
And didn't the Cowboys get rid of McFadden?
No, they have him.
They have him, but he's been hurt.
Not hurt, just inactive. They've been activating Alfred Morris. And he's expected to be Alfred Morris is expected to step in, but McFadden will be active now.
Okay. A little change of pace.
Yeah.
Anything's a chase of pace. Alfred Morris runs like he's got weights in his pants.
I mean, we always used to make fun of
he's a good running
how
back,
slow
though.
what's his name was. Ben Jarvis Green Ellis, he wasn't fast.
Oh god.
He was just steady.
Yeah.
Steady Teddy.
Alfred Morris was a good running back. He's actually not that far removed from being a
1,000-yard back,
starting 1,000-yard rusher. So
right, that's true.
Raiders at the Dolphins.
Raiders at the Dolphins?
Yep.
What the fuck is up with the Raiders? They piss me off. I mean, you just had that giant week where you were just like, Derek Carr's the best quarterback ever, and he reverted right back to the fucking mean. Like I said, he's a piece of shit. He's awful. That means he's going to have a huge week against the Dolphins, so I'm going with the Raiders.
Yeah, I'm going to go Raiders, even though I think Matt Moore makes the Dolphins better.
You want to talk about someone who I think
Raiders
has
had a bye week
regressed.
last week, right?
No, Raiders got trounced.
Oh, they played the Bills.
Remember, that's what we were saying. It was like, oh, watch this comeback. MVP's going to get
I still picked the Bills.
Want to know who I think?
Yeah, so much for that, right? Fucking
like when Dave said the Falcons are broken and he picked them to beat the Pats, and then you said that Derek Carr's the MVP.
Jesus Christ.
And picked the Bills to beat them.
But I did preface it as he can still have a good game.
Yeah, but he didn't. He did.
Pretty eyes, mate.
Yeah.
Hey, I just want to point out that he has been very bad. He has been bad more than he's been good this year.
That is true.
No, I'm not. I think he's a
so
guy.
I stick by my piece of shit comment.
I feel like if you
like with Julio Lugo.
I feel like if you put him behind, like you say, you put him behind like Dallas's offensive line.
Oakland has a good offensive line.
It's okay.
It was ranked one of the top offensive lines last year, and they didn't lose anyone.
But he's dinged up, and their offensive line hasn't been playing great, and their
I'm pretty
running
sure
backs.
Oakland added a piece.
The Pats didn't lose anyone. Their offensive line is much worse than it was last year.
And I'm pretty sure Oakland added a piece from Dallas, Donald Penn.
Yeah.
So
I'm just saying, like, it's looked
right. And look at the Pats, though.
Yeah.
Their offensive line was so much better last year.
Yeah.
And literally no one's changed.
Yeah.
Except for Marcus Cannon injuries.
He's hurt now, yeah.
And Nate Solder's is
well, isn't that going to help you, like, having a week off?
I think a lot of things. The Hogan thing, Cannon.
Hogan's still projected to miss multiple weeks.
Is he?
Yeah. Doesn't need surgery, but
I saw that.
He's going to miss, I think, 2 or 3 weeks. So
that's tough.
So
he might only miss
Raiders at the Dolphins.
I went with Raiders.
I'm going Raiders too, yeah.
Me too.
That's Derek Carr.
Right.
Talk about someone who's regressed.
Yes.
So the Monday night game, that's the Sunday night game. The Monday night game, Lions at the Packers.
Riot.
Lions, yeah. Packers
Same here.
are no defense and now no offense.
Is there only 3 differences?
Okay, so Joe picked the Falcons. I picked the Giants. I picked the Niners. And yeah.
You picked the Cowboys. So
And the Cowboys. Okay.
So 4. So
Aaron has the most opportunities to lose
or win.
or win. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
I only
You
have
guys
one.
literally.
Aaron separated himself.
No, know what it is. Yeah, you guys. If literally the only thing that's going to separate the two of you is the Falcons Panthers.
Mm-hmm. So I got to ride your wave and go Panthers.
Yep.
That's it. Yep. I dig it.
Good luck, gentlemen.
Yeah. The beat is on. Which ones are you different about too? You got the 49ers. I like that. I like
Giants,
winning that one.
Niners.
I like the I think
Cowboys.
I think we're in good shape. I think we're in good shape.
I think
I shot my
I'm
shot.
just gonna no, I'm gonna be Dave. I'm gonna say, you know what, the Giants are due.
Yeah, hot take
The
Dave has
Giants are
gotten
due.
Dave into really good position in this pick'em.
It's true. I only have one. That's true.
I still have 3 wins.
You do.
Yeah, but I don't think you're a hot take Aaron when you
No,
got those 3
yeah,
wins.
yeah.
Remember, you were like, I go with who I think is going to win.
Right.
And I genuinely think they're due.
You think
Yeah.
the 49ers are going to win?
Oh yeah, no, I do.
You said that 2 weeks ago.
I still think they're gonna win.
You know what? I think
You said
you
that
want
too.
to know why?
No,
You
I'm
want to know
just
why I
kidding.
think I'm in first? Because you guys insist on having these
I'm out.
and whatever
I'm not doing
teams
that
going.
anymore.
They're due.
Right.
They're due.
I'm not doing that
Guess
anymore.
what?
Right.
The Browns were due
Right.
for the entire year. They only won one time.
Right. That's true. No, I'm out. I'm out on that. Hot take Dave is out. This feels good. I
Hot
feel
take
good about
Dave is
this.
conveniently out when the Browns are on bye, but
Last week, hot take Dave. I couldn't think of the word. Hot take Dave fucking
pick the Browns.
was out last week.
Oh, you didn't pick the Browns?
No, I didn't.
All right.
I didn't pick the Browns last week.
I don't remember.
I went Titans. No, who was it that they played?
They played.
Don't fact check me here.
Miami? No.
Who the Browns have?
Oh, they played the Vikings.
Vikings.
We all picked the
And
Vikings.
we all picked the Vikings. So
As you should.
hot take Dave took a seat in the back seat last week.
Remember, everyone was like, "Oh, the Titans are going to make the playoffs. They look really good." And,
Yeah, yeah.
and the Raiders,
Right. Yeah.
you have Raiders as your Super Bowl team, don't you?
No,
I
he
don't.
does. He does. I have.
Well, they're out.
I have Bucks Patriots.
I think the Raiders are actually potentially, if they like, what the hell was that?
Oh, the computer.
Everyone all right? Oh,
You didn't tilt it enough.
No. Edit that out in post.
okay. There it is.
If the Raiders lose this upcoming game versus the Dolphins, which that says a lot more about their team if they lose against the Dolphins anyway.
Yeah.
But if they do, I think they're actually in danger of not making the playoffs. Like,
Yeah.
I
You don't
think
mean
they-
like mathematically
Yeah,
eliminated?
like mathematically.
No.
Yes.
Fucking 7 games
Yeah,
left.
but they have a losing record already, and Kansas City is in their division, and so is
Denver.
Denver.
Yeah, but
well,
you could
no,
be the third
Denver's a
one.
piece of shit too.
Yeah, Denver's a piece of shit, and there's 2 wild cards.
Yeah, but the other teams in the AFC,
You got Bills, Pats,
Bills, Pats.
Steelers at 6-2.
Yeah, but there's no one else in that. But
There's no one else.
AFC South, you have the Jags
Right, the Jags,
and
Texans,
Houston.
Right, yeah, but it'll be close. I don't think they'll be eliminated this week.
It's going to be
Week 8.
rough. It'll be
Done.
rough. We're talking about a big win streak.
Yeah. Well, if anyone can do it, it's MVP Derek Carr. Am I right?
The greatest.
Totally.
Am I right?
I'm telling you, man. Now that they trade away Garoppolo,
Yeah.
you know, when's his contract up in Oakland? Is it 3 years? Is it 3 years?
Are you trying to say
mind
Derek Carr's coming to the Patriots? He just signed like a massive contract in Oakland, didn't
Put
he?
the eyes on me again.
Just saying.
I think he signed a 4-year extension.
Last year,
Yeah.
Can I go home?
I think it was this
in
offseason.
3 years.
Was it this offseason?
No, I thought it was last season.
I don't know. Derek Carr's not coming to New England. this is an erroneous
Don't-
fucking
Dave,
argument.
Dave.
I need the wedding crashers. Erroneous
No.
on all accounts.
Okay, you can say
What's
that.
your
all
excuse?
Yeah, no. What's your excuse for him not coming to New England?
Why would he?
Oh,
Why not?
He's got like a $750 billion contract, and Belichick has always been known to pay his players.
It's the same problem as Jimmy Garoppolo.
What do you mean?
He's going to be fucking 29 by the time Brady retires. 30.
So what?
So that's the same
Aaron Rodgers.
problem. Yeah, but also like 26,
also, he's been awful.
not
so
30.
You know,
Right.
He could be like a fucking Drew Brees where he just figures it out like at 30.
Yeah, he could.
One might argue that he's already figured it out. I mean, he
Derek
was
Carr?
pretty good.
He's pretty good. He's going to win MVP this year.
He's a piece
is.
of shit now. He's full Julio Lugo status, but
Well, there you go. I don't have much left here except for Kyrie Irving. Two things actually, Celtics related. First one is
We don't have a Celtics
we don't
drop?
have we don't have Celtics drop. There's no like real. I was thinking about getting like a little montage
You
of
could
like
just
Celtics
get-
calls.
Yeah, after
Or
me,
you
Lucky
could
Charm.
Or you could just
Nope.
Or you could just get the part where fucking Garnett yells.
Anything is possible.
Yeah.
Nope. The Celtics drop should be Tommy
Tommy Heinsohn.
talking about Baines being well put
Oh, that's
together.
that's a good one too. That's a good one too. I saw him in the shower.
That should be the Celtics drop.
yeah.
Every time we talk about the Celtics for the rest of the
He
year,
looks like all of Australia.
yeah, should be that drop.
So, there's the famous Tommy Heinsohn talking about Paul Pierce. They're gonna call it a hard foul or whatever. Loses his mind. They treat him like a rookie.
We should just get a montage of
Tommy
Tommy
Heinsohn
Heinsohn.
montage. Yeah, that might be in the works. I'm on
Yeah.
vacation in 2 weeks, so I could just put that all together.
That should be the drop.
5-2.
5-2, five
First
straight.
First in the Atlantic.
First in the Atlantic. They've
This
won
team
5 straight.
looks good.
So good. They've got a couple good wins under their belt. They came back and beat Milwaukee after that goddamn back-to-back loss,
Yep.
which I felt like was an emotional game, not a actual good basketball game. So they came back and proved they could beat them in Milwaukee.
Yeah.
And then they beat San Antonio, which is widely considered a top 5, 6.
Yeah. San Antonio's a good win.
Right, that's a good one. And they won convincingly.
Yeah.
And I think the final score was by 6, 8, something like that. But they
wasn't
controlled
really
the game.
close,
Yeah. So they've been playing well.
It was 108 to 94.
108-94, so 14 points. Never mind, check
All
that.
right.
Okay.
So, yes,
So-
very convincingly.
Yeah. 2 things. My first one is Jahlil Okafor asked for a buyout.
Yeah, I've heard there are already rumors about him coming to the Celtics.
And the Celtics want him. The Sixers know the Celtics want him because they've been saying, like, hey, let's trade for him. And they can never work out a deal. The Sixers denied his buyout because they know that the Celtics are going to get him. Because the Celtics got that $8.4 million exemption for Gordon Hayward's injury. So it's free money, right? Here you go.
They can put it towards somebody.
Put it towards Jahlil Okafor.
Oh boy.
I think the Sixers are trying to hold out and say, give us something, please. Like, just, like,
just give us your first round pick.
yeah. And
Trust the process. Hashtag trust the
They're
process.
not doing that.
they're not going to do that. Well, the
No,
Celtics
the
first round
Celtics
pick?
first round pick? You
I would
wouldn't
do
give
that.
that up for them?
They have their own first round pick?
They have their own. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, then I would do that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you just like, okay.
Right. And then you wonder, like, how many deals are the Celtics and the Sixers going to do? They've done a lot this
Yeah.
year. With the Fultz
I'd take
deal.
him. I'd take him.
I would take him too, especially if he's going to cost you the 27th pick in the draft, whatever. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, or maybe 30th.
Yeah.
Cross your
But
fingers.
you
knock on
know,
wood.
the Sixers are right. If they bought him out, he's a Celtic.
He's a Celtic.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Danny goes, here you go. Here's $8.4 million guaranteed this year. Boom. Done deal. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it doesn't cost you anything.
Cost you anything.
Yeah.
Right. It's just money back for someone else dying on the court, basically. You know what I mean? So I am really, really interested in that. I would like to see it happen. He's not the big guy, that we all want, but Baines has really filled that role. He's played
He
really
is.
What
well.
does it say?
Very good.
Against the Spurs, steady Al.
Average Al has been above average.
Average
Al.
Al.
This year.
He had 14 points, 13 rebounds,
boards.
and 5 assists.
Is average Al Deron Harmon, like, or Devin McCourty, where like they have always been a really good player, but they do the things that you don't. Rob Ninkovich,
Right. Right.
Is average Al Rob Ninkovich?
Yeah.
Where he's just
Maybe.
like
That's the
always been a good player, but he does the things that don't show up on the stats.
That's why everyone loves him. They say, "Oh, his nuances of the way he plays basketball is why he's a really good basketball player." Like, what the fuck does that mean?
You know what it is? Because he's got that Spanish flavor. He's from the Dominican.
Right.
He's got a little bit of that Spanish.
church it up a little
bit
bit.
of spice.
Church it up a little bit. I like it. No, he's been really good. If you listen to Dave Speaks this week, where I had Michael Dyer on,
It was
he
very
making-
good. I
yeah.
like that podcast a lot.
Did you? Yeah.
I like Michael Dyer. Is a good. He was a good.
He's an interesting guest.
Yeah.
Very interesting to listen to.
I couldn't find the words to say it, but I enjoyed him on the podcast.
Yeah. No, he was great. I really liked his point about average Al being a max contract player, where he says there's 30 teams in the NBA. Every team can afford 3 max contracts, right? He says, so that means that there's 90 max contract players in the NBA.
You trying to tell me Al Horford's not one of the
Is
top
Al
90?
Horford a top 90 NBA player? Sure, he's probably around 30, 35, as
Yeah.
far, like as the list goes. So if anything, he should be any team on the NBA's second
max
contract player, which he is on the Celtics. There's Gordon Hayward, and then there's Al Horford, the 2 max contracts that you've offered.
Yeah.
So he is right where he's supposed to be. He's not. He's overpaid in the consideration of performance per
to be honest
dollar,
with
whatever.
you, he could be if they changed Kyrie Irving to be a max contract. If they got him on a max contract,
Right. He could be your
He'd be your
third.
third.
he would be your third.
He'd be your third best
And he's
player.
definitely above a third best,
Right.
third max contract.
Absolutely. Right. So when he made that point, much like when you made the point, like I said, when you said that deep throws are more difficult, like a 3-point, that's a point that really like stuck in my mind. And when he said that, I was like, yeah, I have absolutely no problem with that average Al being a max contract player. Like it just totally changed my whole logic about it. And
I don't like that. I feel like he doesn't deserve that nickname anymore. Average Al.
he's been above average Al.
Yeah.
That's what he's been
Triple
lately.
A.
Call him Al Bundy instead.
Triple A.
Oh,
Old Triple A out
Old
there.
above average Al.
Real
Tice.
monsters.
Tice? You're
Tice, my guy.
Tice?
Which is per 36.
Tice talk.
Tice
We're
talk?
not doing that. But against the Spurs,
Yeah.
6 points, 6 rebounds,
How many minutes?
14.
14. So do that like 2.5 times. He would have been like 14,
It's like
14 and 14.
yeah,
Little double Catorce there.
double.
Right there. Per 36. This has been this week's Tice Talk.
Smart had 9 points, 3 rebounds, and 7 assists.
Just getting it done. Second most assists on the team, right?
Yep.
Average Al, third with 5 assists.
How'd Rozier play?
Good. He had 12 points off the bench. He hit 2 threes and then a layup, which, as on the podcast, we joked about how he can't hit layups.
He had 12 points, 4 rebounds, and 0 assists.
Good rebounder for a guard.
Really good rebounder for a guard. Yeah, it really is. So, yeah, and that's. I just want to bring up
Shane
the thing
Larkin did not record a stat.
There you go.
What
He
about-
recorded missed shots,
What about
but
you?
no stats.
What about our boy leading the best player on the team, not named Kyrie Irving?
Oh, we're talking
Jaylen Brown?
Jaylen Brown? Yeah. He had 18 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists.
He's
Just getting it done.
yeah.
Tatum had 7 points, 11
Tatum has been
11 rebounds,
just
and 2 assists.
So good.
wonderful. Tatum has been a delight,
Unbelievable.
a delight in every aspect.
Everything you wanted him to be.
If he's not
And
scoring,
more.
if
He's
he's not
rebounding like
scoring,
crazy.
he's rebounding.
Right?
Yeah.
And he
And
plays
if he's
defense.
and if he's having an okay night rebounding, he's scoring like a motherfucker.
Right. He plays great defense. There was a stretch I was watching the other night. I think it was the Bucks game.
Mm-hmm.
Block, pass out, like outlet pass. He gets the block, gets the rebound. Outlet pass, kick back to him, 3-pointer, good. Comes down, steal, drive dunk.
He looks
And I
like
was
the real deal.
I was
2
like,
for 4
coast
on,
to coast,
on
fucking-
3-pointers.
He looks very much like the real deal.
And like Dyer and I were talking about, how good does Danny look?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You got that extra pick
Yeah.
coming back in. And I said on the podcast that the Nets deal is officially done. It's actually not. I forgot about because the pick that they traded away was the Nets pick. So there's a little bit of extra life now because there's some value that you got back for that pick, being that it's the Lakers 2 through 5
Yeah.
or the Kings. So there's still one lingering piece of the Nets deal, even though it's no longer Nets related. That deal is fucking cemented in history for me. You know what I mean? Because you wind up with Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and James Young, which is the other one. Not great.
Yeah.
But also Marcus Smart the first year of
Yeah.
the deal. So you tanked because you got rid of all your guys, got bad. You became bad. You got Marcus Smart. So right now, you got rid of those guys. The result was Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, 3 of your best 5 players on your team right now.
Yeah.
And all because of that one deal. And young and fucking bright future for the Celtics.
What did they give up for Irving?
They gave up the Nets last pick. That was the last one.
So you technically
and you
got Irving,
out of the
too.
deal.
Yeah.
So, right, yeah. So you got Irving, Smart, Tatum, Brown
Yeah.
out of that Nets deal. And you gave up 37-year-old Paul Pierce and 38-year-old Kevin Garnett.
And Jason Terry.
And Jason, don't forget.
Joseph, don't forget.
The very unforgettable Jason Terry.
The other thing is Tatum, when they played the Heat,
Yep.
20 points and 5 rebounds.
He is. I'm gonna say it again.
Right.
He's the real deal.
Unbelievable. So good.
He's very enjoyable to watch.
Right.
And you just this team, and I didn't think it was going to be like this. I thought it was going to be a very Kyrie heavy team. Like last year was a very Isaiah heavy team where you physically saw this team struggle when Isaiah was not playing, or when he would go off the court. This team, it just feels like at any given night, it could be
anybody.
So, like it could be Jaylen Brown tonight. It could be
last time we recorded.
Could be Tatum. It could be Kyrie Irving.
Right.
Terry Rozier is going to give you valuable minutes off the bench. Marcus Smart could have himself a night.
Right.
Al Horford could have a huge night.
When we recorded last week, that night, Al Horford had 29 points, 27 points. Remember, we left here and checked, looked at the score. He's gone over 20 a couple times.
Is Morris back yet?
No, he was supposed to make his debut tonight. He didn't, but it'll be. It should be like Friday.
You don't have Morris back yet,
right.
And this is a team that doesn't have fucking Gordon Hayward.
Right, and they have 2 open roster spots, which is an interesting thing too. That they've left 2 open. One maybe becoming Jahlil Okafor when the Sixers are forced to finally buy him out, or whatever. But there's still flexibility. Like this isn't your final Celtics either. You know what I mean?
Tatum against. To compare Tatum to Fultz, because that was
that's
who
the
you ended up.
Right.
That's who you ended up drafting. Tatum in that game had 15 points, 8 rebounds.
Yeah.
Fultz came off the bench and gave them.
He doesn't start for them.
No, he gave them 6 points, 3 rebounds, and 1 assist.
Yep. Markelle Fultz has been injured. He doesn't look good.
No, I'm glad.
Ben Simmons that game, their point guard, had 11 points, 11 rebounds, and 5 assists.
No,
Did you listen to that part of the podcast?
I disagree with him still.
Now there was a point, though, that I didn't like that he made.
He leads the team in assists.
Who?
Simmons.
Yeah,
Simmons
that's great for a point forward.
He's a point guard.
So
for a point forward, it's
Mike
amazing.
Dyer made the point, and I'm like, hey, you might be able to settle an age-old debate. And he goes, yeah. I said, is it Ben Simmons a point guard? He goes, yeah. The same way I think LeBron James is a point guard. I said, well, no.
He's not a point guard.
I was like, yeah, you lost me. He's like, I think LeBron James is a point guard. And I was like, yeah. He's like, because the NBA is now positionless.
You know what? I'm in on that point. It's if you don't want to call it, it's whatever
There's a ball handler, a wing, and a big. And that's where the NBA
is.
It's
a positionless thing. But
so
LeBron James is not a point guard.
He's not a point guard.
He is a small forward.
Right. And
if you want to call him a point forward,
he's the same size as Magic Johnson.
If you want to call him a point forward, I'm all for it.
Right.
Definitely I think Giannis.
Yeah, Antetokounmpo.
He is a point forward.
Yeah.
He brings the ball up. If you want to say the person who brings the ball up is a point guard,
right.
I disagree with you. I just think it's the person that brings the ball up.
I think it's the guy that calls plays, but like Terry Rozier plays point guard when Kyrie's on the court with him.
Yeah.
Which is weird to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because Kyrie definitely is the best handle in the league.
Kyrie is your point guard.
Right. But Terry Rozier brings the ball up.
But Terry Rozier, in that case, Terry Rozier is actually also a point guard. Like that's his position.
They just play ball handlers.
Yeah, but
and not wings. But or
Simmons, they have as a point guard.
He says small forward.
Dyer kind of did it, but then didn't. Like he was like, yeah, no, he's a point guard, and then he's just like, I think LeBron James is. I was like
LeBron James is a small forward.
And then,
he went as a small forward.
Then I made the point to him. I said, yeah, well, Joe says that he doesn't defend the point guard. He said, well, you can't do that. It's because LeBron James.
He made a good point about this.
Yeah. He says, LeBron James used to, or Avery Bradley used to cover
the 2 all the time.
Used to cover the 1 all the time. Right.
Yeah.
And Isaiah Thomas had to cover the 2 because Avery Bradley was your best on-ball defender. So based on that, is Avery Bradley your point guard and Isaiah Thomas is your 2 guard or whatever? And I said, and like Kobe used to cover Rondo.
No, yeah, that was a good point.
Yeah. And then so it's a tough one. The debate is still up in the air, I guess. But I think positionless basketball.
I think that is the actual right answer. Is that we're moving to a point where there are no rock solid positions.
I have a question. Does the league not respect LeBron James? Like, I mean, as in, like, they respect him as like he's the best player in the game right now. Mm-hmm. Hype, you know what I mean? Depending on what way some people are going to be like, it's this guy, that guy, whatever.
Right.
But he's considered the best player in the game right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But the guy gets like, they fuck with him. Like Lance Stevenson from the Pacers just got called for flagrant 1 for hitting him with a low blow.
Lance Stevenson and him have a history.
No, I'm just saying, like,
when he blows in his ear.
Yeah, he blew in his ear. Yeah,
I just feel like
woke him up.
One of the greatest memes ever.
Yeah.
I just feel like he's one of those guys that, like, a lot of guys in the league are like,
didn't like him.
He's
not a likable guy.
You're not a guy that we all want to be around.
He's very.
He has his clique.
He's
and that's
very.
it.
If you're on the outside,
He's very. I don't even know what the word is. Like
chauvinistic.
very all about him and how
he's egocentric
he has probably handled himself PR-wise one of the worst PR careers of all time.
The worst ever. Yeah. I think it's just
everything he does comes across to me as corny and
so the
smug.
Best player of this generation.
Corny.
Oh, corny and smug.
I mean, possibly. You never know.
Corny and when he got the Kendrick Lamar album early, he was posting those.
Right. Yeah.
You just seem corny and weird.
Yeah. I think
he feels like he has to be important.
He fucked up.
And everybody's like, listen, you are important. You don't have to try.
Right. Yeah. We all love you.
Everyone loves you. Stop trying so much.
He fucked up with the decision and then tried to unfuck it up when he came back, but when he came back he wrote that dumb letter.
Yeah.
The king and the zero dark 23 or whatever.
The tattoo on his chest.
Chosen one.
Like, come on.
Yeah. I don't. And then, even, what was it, last year, 2 years ago in the finals, where they're like, Steph Curry's doing this, he's averaging however many points, and he's like, well, I'm the best player in the world, so I don't worry about stuff like that. But it's like, fuck off. Just fuck off.
I know, though the best player in the world didn't win the championship. So
Steph Curry's PR has been taking a hit too, because he's starting to look like a whiny little baby.
Yeah.
He's throwing his mouth guard and stuff like that.
Well,
it's only a matter of time before a Greek player is the most
popular player in the
NBA.
He will be.
Yeah, true.
He is a freak.
Monster.
The name is
the Greek
very
freak
accurate.
Is so real. I saw him take off from one step in the free throw line in game in traffic, and he had his hand up like he was gonna lay it in. He just jumped and floated, and then just just stayed and done. I was like, what the fuck?
Did he fly?
Yeah.
He floated. You ever seen the David Blaine?
Yeah.
Where he floated.
Yeah, he didn't even levitate me down.
He floated. He floated. No, I'm talking about the real David Blaine.
Oh, the real one. Oh,
where he's doing the street magic and he's doing the levitation thing. And this black lady's like, he floated. He floated. That's what I think about every time.
Yeah. Giannis takes off.
Giannis plays basketball.
That's true. Yeah,
and he can literally wrap his fingers around the basketball like it's a baseball.
Yeah,
it's like
oh my god,
it's like he's holding a baseball.
He's insane. He's a freak. He really is.
Come to the Celtics.
Yeah, someday I would hope. But yeah, and then the other thing I just want to mention about the Celtics was Kyrie Irving was on Gino Auriemma's podcast, which just started. The launch episode.
Oh, Full Court. No,
it's called Holding Court.
Holding Court,
which is a great fucking podcast
great
name.
podcast.
That's a great podcast.
Why is Gino doing interviews?
It's
restaurateur. Gino Auriemma.
Yep.
It's endorsed and sponsored by, not sponsored, but it's partnered with UConn Athletics. So it's probably like
a guy that didn't go to UConn.
A Duke basketball player.
Well, no, it's not like a UConn alumni show.
But
Sue Bird
wouldn't you think the first episode you'd want to have
he had Sue Bird on.
Okay, but wouldn't you think you'd want to have a Ray Allen?
Right. Yeah.
No one wants to hear from Ray Allen.
Well, Sue Bird. I mean,
I'm just saying,
that's his UConn alum there.
Female basketball players are still
Tiger Woods.
Right. I don't want to hear from him
that's
ever.
Sue Bird. That's what I'm saying, Sue Bird.
No, I'm talking about but I'm also talking about
you'll run out of guest options real fast. You just exhaust.
There's 2 of them on the Connecticut Sun alone.
Yeah. You just exhaust UConn alum. You just go rip right through them.
Right.
Before you're interviewing people who no one gives a fuck about.
Yeah.
Or you can interview Tiger Woods.
Pretty dope.
Why?
But he launched him.
Why?
Not?
Why him talking to Tiger? That doesn't make any sense.
Because people want to. How many podcasts does Tiger Woods do?
Why would any podcast have any guest at all if you wouldn't have Tiger Woods?
Well, I'm just saying.
Why did we have Michael Holly on?
Because we're talking about New England sports, and he talks about New England sports.
Yeah, but this is just an interview podcast.
Yeah, it's just an interview.
Joe Rogan doesn't just have fighters on; he has all sorts of people on.
True. I just think that it makes no sense.
You're just saying because Gino Auriemma is Gino Auriemma, he should have.
No, I just think you should do something a little bit what do you, a guy that has, and I get it, if you want to compare it just to winning.
Yeah.
Okay, one of the more successful golfers versus the most successful women's coach and women's basketball coach.
I don't know if you have to put women's there.
Well,
one of the most successful coaches.
Okay, if you don't want to put that title on, I'm just talking about the way people, when you talk about it, ESPN, the nationwide, it's women's basketball.
Right, yeah.
He's still a great coach. I'm not going to downplay that.
Right.
But my point is, what does this guy that actually has a good image in the public have anything in common with Tiger Woods?
He doesn't have to.
It's just going to be a good interview.
It's just an interview. Yeah, it's just an interview podcast.
Right. It might not even be a good interview, but it's one that's going to get people to listen.
I think
people want to hear from Tiger Woods because he's been pretty low key since he got hurt.
He's
and,
coming back. That's why he's
Yeah.
doing the interview.
Right.
He's coming back
And
to
he
play
just
golf.
doesn't. How many? I bet you if you search through all podcasts, you might find like one other interview with Tiger Woods.
Yeah,
If that, like
there's not much podcast time.
No, he is not a podcast interview guy.
I think, and also Kyrie.
Such a huge
if you're
game.
a UConn Huskies fan, you're probably close. A majority of Huskies fans are probably Celtics fans.
Yes.
You know
No,
what I mean?
it makes sense.
So-
I get that.
Also, UConn and Duke.
Yeah.
They both were. I mean, UConn's kind of fallen off, but there was a
Right.
point where UConn was.
They were two heavyweights.
Basketball dynasty.
Right.
Basketball.
But
college basketball.
any Hooters, Kyrie Irving was on the debut episode. Him and Sue Bird, and Kyrie doubled down on the fact that the Earth is flat. Remember, he kind of did that stupid thing where he was
I
like,
was just joking.
"I just want to see what you guys would think." Ha ha ha. Whatever.
Not true.
Not true. He does think that he was interested to see what people would say. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When he said it.
But
there's also some belief. He says, I don't know. I don't know. He keeps saying, I haven't seen a real picture of the Earth. Like, those aren't real pictures. And Gino's like, well.
So does he believe in, like, that we didn't go to the moon as well?
Yeah. That's what he says. He says, I just don't know. And
there's like a giant, like, if you draw like a giant circle for NASA, like non-believers, and then a giant circle of Earth is flat earthers. They
cross.
just intersect.
Yeah,
There's just no.
Yeah.
That Venn diagram is just one circle.
You can throw me in the loony bin. I also don't think we landed on the moon. I don't think we did. But
Do you think the world is flat?
I don't think the world is flat.
Okay.
You don't think
reason why I don't
you don't
think the world
we've
is flat.
ever landed on the moon? You don't think a humans landed?
We haven't been back since.
You don't think a humans landed on?
No, I don't think America landed on the moon.
You don't think
Because Russia went.
they've sent rovers?
Or rovers, yeah, right.
America has sent rovers.
America sent rovers. Yeah, I don't think humans have been then. Yeah, you're right.
All right. That I think that America, it's a possibility that they.
I think they staged it.
I actually think that humans went to the moon, but that the footage you see is not real footage from the moon.
And then they just didn't get footage from the actual trip.
Yeah, like think about how the fuck did they get footage from the moon back to Earth at that time? Like,
Yeah, but you're right.
What?
But you're right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, right. That's
So
what I mean.
that's kind
Kyrie
of
Irving's point. Is
but
there's
they could have
video.
staged. They could have gone to the moon and then been like, "Well, no one's gonna fucking believe us unless we have footage." So
Right.
we'll stage footage and then we can send it out to Russia and be like, "Fuck you guys, we got to
Kyrie
the moon
Irving's
first."
main point was he says that the boot prints don't match because you can go see the boots at the Smithsonian and they don't match the actual prints on the moon. He says and the guys on WI were like, yeah, that's because moon boots have multiple layers. They're like, so the inside part of the boot is what's on display and the outside would have a different print. And then Rich Keefe, being a conspiracy theorist, like, mighty convenient, don't you think, or whatever, like kind of chiming in. But he says they had they filmed them leaving the moon. Who filmed that?
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? Like, who stayed there? The rocket's
Oh yeah,
leaving. Like,
I could
who
buy
filmed that?
into the footage is fake, but I
right.
think they landed on the moon.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. I feel the same way. I don't know.
They definitely have
I
put
don't
rovers on the
think-
moon.
yeah,
Like
I don't think what
NASA
we
is
saw-
real, and what they do is real.
Right.
Like I'm not one of those people.
Do you feel that it's a wise use of government funds? Because now it's private.
Well, private space stuff is now just coming to fruition.
No, I'm just saying. I think genuinely, it's like to be honest, we talk about like not even to get political. We talk about all the hunger in this world.
Right.
Like I think we could spend less money on sending somebody to the moon.
We also have a military spent $800 billion.
That's what I'm saying. Like there's things that we
there's
could
so
spend
many
more.
different-
We could spend money on that's like
I
much
agree.
more productive.
I agree with that. I think
I
at
don't
the
know.
time,
I think expanding your knowledge about what's out there in a gigantic universe is not a complete waste of money.
No, but do you think spending that much money on fuel, rockets, and just to like?
Well, it's part of that, though.
No,
I
I'm
mean,
saying,
I don't
like,
think you need to have.
Do you need to
million
send
space
people?
expeditions?
But do you need to send people?
No, and I think you'll see them move away from sending people into space.
that's already really
Yeah.
regressed.
They send people to the space station. Like
Yeah.
that's where I think the people are fucking nuts. Like, oh no, we've never even been into space. Like there are people who don't.
Oh
think-
yeah, no.
There are people currently
Right.
on the space station.
Right.
Like
Right. Yeah.
They
That's
do,
the
like,
biggest hoax of all time.
live
Yeah,
streams
right.
and like
Yeah.
you can. There is a website that sends you satellite images of the Earth like every day,
Right.
every second.
Yep. Like live shots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
no.
that's people who are like, I've never seen a picture of Earth. Like, just go on this website.
The reason why I don't think the Earth is flat is because if the Earth was flat,
Can you see the curve?
and if you wanted to fly from California to Japan, it's a much shorter flight than from Connecticut to Japan, right?
Yeah. But if it was flat,
Why would that be?
yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's either. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Either, and then where does the flat start? Like, does it start with America, and then you roll your way, you unroll a globe this way? You know what I mean? And then Japan would be as far away as possible. Or does it start with Japan and then America's next, and then, you know what I mean?
Because
Like,
eventually there would be a flight that's...
there's a point that you can't take.
Yeah.
Or you would have to travel the entire distance of the world from right to left or left to right. You know what I mean? So for me, no, I don't believe it's flat, because at some point, if it's quicker to get to Japan from California, then that means you wouldn't be able to go the other way from the East Coast. You would have to travel over America to do it that way.
For a guy that went to Duke,
Right.
I would expect a little bit more.
I respect the open mind.
Everyone learns their shit on YouTube nowadays.
Right.
All right.
I respect the open mindedness. I think I like people that challenge things, but the flat Earth thing, I can't get behind.
It's a little much.
And that's what he said. He's like, I'm not even convinced. He's like, I just don't know. I want people to talk to me. I want people to like convince me, tell me that it is round or flat. Or he's like, I don't know. I don't know.
Well,
but I
it's
feel like
really
it is.
hard to convince someone who doesn't believe in all the evidence.
Right. Yeah.
Like,
Right.
Well, there's the whole thing where like every scientist ever says that the Earth is round.
Right.
And then there's this guy on YouTube who says that it's flat.
Right.
And you're right. You're siding with this guy and then saying that these guys are all liars.
Yeah. Rich Keefe also responded with, this guy believes in conspiracy theories and he hates LeBron James. He would be the perfect hashtag Dorkcast. It's like, I want him on right away. And
I didn't know Rich Keefe was a big conspiracy theory guy.
Big time.
Yeah.
Big time. Yeah.
They are
Kooky.
super entertaining.
The hashtag Dork Podcast?
No. Well,
Or
they
conspiracy
are
theories.
too, but
Yeah.
conspiracy theories are
Oh, yeah. They really are.
super entertaining to fall down that
It
rabbit
is
hole.
quite the rabbit
The
hole, yeah.
lizard people one, personally one of my favorites.
There you go.
That is a great conspiracy theory.
By the way, quick update. Jaylen Brown tonight. You know, they're playing the Kings right now.
Yeah.
Jaylen Brown, 12 points, 4 rebounds. He's 4 for 4 from the floor, 2 for 2 from the three-point line.
All right.
Hasn't missed.
Jaylen Brown.
Great half. So that's all I got for Celtics stuff. Just Kyrie doubling down. He's been really good for the Celtics. Whatever.
Yeah,
Believe that the Earth is square. I don't care. You know what I mean?
I just think like
Be
stay
flat
in
on
your
one side.
as they like to say, kind of stay in your lane.
Yeah.
You're great at basketball. Talk
His
about basketball.
lane is the flat Earth lane.
All right.
B.O.B.
Yeah.
has made a
Well,
lot of money on it.
Yeah, I know. I'm sure.
True.
And that's why we don't hear his music anymore.
This is
B.O.B. has a very niche
true, yeah,
followers of
niche.
flat Earth people.
That's true. That's classic Aaron saying, just do what I want you to do and don't do what I don't want you to do.
No, I just
How stupid
whatever.
are
I just
you
think it's
gonna feel when they
ridiculous.
come out and they say, "Yeah, Earth's flat. We've been lying to you guys."
Yeah, Neil deGrasse
Like,
Tyson comes
okay.
out and be like, I've been wrong.
The thing I don't understand is
What's it, Matt?
why? Why about the Earth being flat around?
Right.
Who gives a if
Yeah,
it
what's
was
the point?
flat?
Right,
Why wouldn't they just tell you that?
right,
Why be super secretive about it?
right. If anything,
And
gravity
every
would
time
make
you
more
ask,
sense at that point.
every time you ask a flat Earth person that,
Yeah.
their answer is always bad. It's
Yeah.
like people are easier to control on a globe or something like that.
Right,
Like,
yeah.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah. Is that written in the Bible?
So
I feel like it'd be
I feel like he
very
needs-
easy to control on a flat surface.
Right.
no,
that's
he
true.
needs to get a boat. He
Yeah.
needs to ride to the end
Yeah.
and then like get near the edge and be like, all right, guys, and like video, like put a camera over the edge and be like, this is the end of the Earth.
A lot of times
right,
people
right.
like the flat earthers will be like, well, gravity not a real thing. Like that's why
Okay.
I would
Yeah,
fall off the other side of the earth, obviously.
Right.
Like no, you see, you put water in a bucket and then you
Right.
turn the bucket sideways and the water falls out.
Right.
But if you start spinning
Yeah, spin
in a
it around.
circle
Right.
with the water in the bucket,
Yeah.
nothing comes
Nothing
out
comes
of it.
out. Nothing at all.
Why?
Yeah.
Gravity.
Gravity is a thing. It exists. I wonder if like the Earth is flat, but in like a race car
Circle?
track, like a circle. Maybe that would make your flight to Japan a little
I
easier.
don't. Every planet ever is round.
We've seen that what they've
Yes.
shown us.
Yes, pictures
Right. From
of
what they've
planets.
shown us. Right.
are round.
Who knows? It's all part of the lie.
You can
Why?
grab. He can.
Why?
Well, here's the other thing. You can grab a fucking telescope
Right.
and look at other planets.
See a very flat image.
But you can't see that it's round.
You can't.
You can just see that it's a circle.
So he has to go to the space station to look at it from out in space to like get a full idea of it.
Yeah, and you'd
There's
have
a
to go
fucking
around
horizon line.
Right. Which only proves that
It looks
could be a
round.
circle.
If you
It
look,
could be a
if you go
circle.
back
Wait a
far
minute.
enough.
No, Earth could be a circle, not a ball, not a round,
not a 3D object.
not a 3D object. It could be racetrack style.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going way off track.
I could be a woman, but I'm not.
Okay, that's true. If my grandma had a dick, she'd be my grandpa.
Well, you were born with nipples, so
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
what use do you have?
You can milk anything with nipples, Fokker.
Yeah, that's true. So I don't have a block talk or anything I'm not
I was
mad
going
at.
to say,
Do you have one?
the only thing I was going to say is Bruins,
Yeah.
4-3-3. They need to make a move. They need to start thinking about
That's why I hate
getting rid of
hockey.
Tuca. Just get rid of Tuca.
That's why I hate hockey.
I'm sorry, Jackie, but get rid of
4-3-3.
Tuca. Just get rid of them.
4-3-3 is just
It's so ugly.
They're just
they need to get rid of ties. I'm sorry, ties are the worst thing ever. Ties shouldn't be allowed in any sport.
well. They have an overtime. Then they have shootouts. Like it's
Right.
Nope.
at a certain point.
Keep
like,
going until a tie is broken.
Well, no, at a certain point, like put them out there and let them like essentially murder each other so they can at least get a score
The
here.
thing is, why do they end the shootout? They
Get a tie.
They do
And
the
only
overtime.
certain like a certain amount of guys can do the shootout, and then they go back out. They can do like go out and do it again. It's like, how about this? Just let everybody on the team
yeah,
shoot.
just
Right.
go
Until someone scores.
someone
Someone
wins.
right?
Yeah.
Why do they have a limited shootout?
Yeah. I now they picked up the overtime thing where it's like 3-on-3, 4-on-4,
Yeah.
right? Which is a
3-on-3,
great
I think.
idea.
Yeah.
That's a great idea. And is it true that in the playoffs? And I remember hearing that this is what they should do. I don't know if they did. So you might know more than me, or you probably do. In the playoffs, each overtime, do they lose a player?
No, I didn't hear that.
Okay. Yeah,
Did
'cause
not
I heard
hear
that.
that.
I heard that it starts at like
Eventually
4-on-4
it's just
and then it goes-
one-on-one
then it's
with
just
a goalie.
one-on-one with a goalie. Yeah, yeah. Which is I don't know if that was just a proposal. I remember hearing someone say
It
like this
sounds
is
like
the
a
idea.
proposal.
Yeah, I don't
That
think it happened.
That would be awesome.
It'd
That
be
would
interesting.
Great. That'd
It'd be
great.
interesting.
'Cause
It'd
you're like-
literally be just like 1-on-1. I deked you out, and now
right, just like do. But then the goalie makes a stop. Now what? You
And
come
he's
back,
able.
get the
And he's
rebound,
able.
come
Well,
around.
here's the thing. And you're able to. And he's able to like
I would
make
be
the
the
stop
coach.
and
And pass it
clear
to
it
his
out.
guy.
Clear it out to his own guy.
I would be the coach that pulls the goalie.
Just like,
And in that 1-on-1,
right,
we're pulling the goalie, going all or nothing.
right. That's
All
it.
or nothing.
That's it. You have the goalie just play
Do a
defense.
2-on-1 break.
No,
Do
just-
a 2-on-1 break.
No, no. You pull a freaking Mighty Ducks.
Yeah.
The goalie
Flying
comes.
V?
No, goalie comes out of. Goldberg's coming up the middle. That's not Goldberg. That's Taylor.
Right.
All of a sudden, you hand him a stick, and it's fucking Chara.
Yeah.
Just slap shot from half
Put
half
Put
ice.
sub Charian as your goalie for the overtime.
Yeah. So that's the Bruins are fucking very mediocre.
they are.
Very mediocre.
Block talk is Brown's gone brown.
Brown's gonna Brown.
Fucked up a trade deadline
love
thing
that.
with AJ McCarron, who I didn't realize had that many tattoos.
Quick update: McCarron is overly tattooed.
Yeah. So that's all I'm going to say about that.
Well, they also
Browns
right.
can't even trade for a backup quarterback.
What was that crazy trade? You were like, I didn't realize they didn't get this guy and that guy like all in that one. Like the Browns just like
Oh well, there's the obviously they traded away from Deshaun Watson this year. They traded away from Carson Wentz 2 years ago.
Yep.
And then what was the deal here at the end? Let me see. Aaron printed out this really well put article. Oh yeah, right here. Kyle Shanahan admitted, this is according to ESPN. I don't know who the writer is here. Pat McManaman of ESPN. Mick Managram wrote, Kyle Shanahan had admitted that prior to the 2014 draft, when he was the Browns offensive coordinator, he favored Derek Carr and Jimmy Garoppolo. Others in the front office also favored Carr. Former Browns GM Ray Farmer was said to have favored Teddy Bridgewater. The Browns took Johnny Manziel, then wasted 2 years and sabotaged their own season that started 7-4, trying to see if he could play. They now have wasted 2 more years trying to find the guy to replace him.
The Browns started 7-4.
7-4.
Who was the quarterback then?
Was that
Hoyer?
Hoyer? It might have been Hoyer.
That has to have been Hoyer, right?
Might have
Hoyer
been.
was there with Manziel.
Yeah, might have been Hoyer. Yeah, I don't know. But how incredible is that? Teddy Bridgewater Jimmy Garoppolo, Derek Carr. Everyone on the team's like, hey, I want him. Oh, let's go Johnny Manziel. Fuck it.
Yeah, Manziel fell, so we'll take him.
And just bomb.
I remember.
Didn't they trade up to get him?
The thing is,
They traded back like into the first round.
That might have been because they weren't expecting Manziel to be there.
Right.
Why they liked we're going to take this guy, and we like these other quarterbacks who are going to be later on in the draft.
Yeah.
And then Manziel was there.
Right.
But the thing is, Teddy Bridgewater was there too.
Right.
And he was there at 30, whatever. I think he went first pick of the second round.
Yeah.
Last pick of the first round, one of the two.
He was right on that bubble. Right around there.
Teddy Bridgewater is eligible to return
this next week, right?
I don't think he is returning.
Right.
But he is.
He's on
back
the IR
practicing.
Disability or comeback list. Yeah. Also, Shea McClellan for the Pats will be available next week.
Could be a big get back.
Yeah, that could be a big get back and
big return.
They started 7-4. They finished the season 7.
What about Malcolm Mitchell? Have we heard anything else?
Malcolm Mitchell. So he was supposed to be eligible. You're the one that told me he might not play.
Yeah, but
it was Hoyer.
Hoyer and
I haven't
Tyler.
seen anything else about that.
Thigpen.
Yeah, I haven't heard that either.
Connor Shaw.
I haven't seen anything else about Malcolm Mitchell.
Yeah, I don't know. They mentioned it on WEEI that he might be a big get because they were talking about, should they trade for Martavis Bryant? Should they do this?
Maybe.
And they said, no, let's not forget, you get Malcolm Mitchell back. And he's a guy that has some synergy with Tom Brady.
Yeah.
And, knows
and he doesn't mind going across the middle.
He'll go across the middle for you. He's a big enough body. He's not huge.
No.
He's
like 6'1".
No, it'd be a great...
He's a thick body that could take,
if he's coming
like
back,
Chris Hogan's build at 6 foot.
It would be wonderful.
Right. Yeah, it's true. So that's all I got this week. I mean, at the closing time, we're working on getting that state of the network thing going. So for me, I'm just going to wrap mine up real quick. Of course, I had a Dave Speaks come out last Sunday with...
Not going to hit the button, no?
Good Twitter friend. Nah, it's long. It's long. They get it. You know what I mean? So the current state of the network is, I had a podcast come out last Sunday with good Twitter friend Mike Dyer, who you can follow at Mike_Dyer13. That's DYER. I want to thank him very much for coming on. We had some great Celtics banter. We just gushed over Brad Stevens. And it's a pretty interesting listen if you're a Celtics fan at all. It's a good conversation. I thought there was some really good dialogue there.
Are you going to marry him instead of Tom Brady now?
No, it's still Tom. Brad Stevens?
Yes.
Oh, I think I meant Mike Dyer. I was like, I don't know. I'm not sure yet.
I meant
we're pretty early in our relationship. No. Brad Stevens, Tom Brady. No.
He's younger.
Yeah. No, he's not.
How old is he?
Brad Stevens?
Yeah.
They're the same age. They're both 40.
From, sorry to interrupt you, from Mike Reese of ESPN. My sense is that receiver Malcolm Mitchell, who was placed on IR on September 7th for a knee injury, is not close to being a consideration to begin practicing at this point, if at all this year.
Yeah. I don't love that.
So
that's not good.
That was an official report from Mike Reese.
Yeah, that stinks.
And you couldn't have given up like a 3rd round pick for Calvin Benjamin?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I don't think I want Calvin Benjamin.
No, I'm not saying he's going to change.
Fucking Tubble Lard who happens to catch passes.
Everyone says that he's so fat. I'm like, I don't know. I really like him. Actually, Brad Stevens 41.
Okay, all right.
I think they should.
He's younger
Pierre
looking.
Garçon.
That's what I should say.
Better looking.
Younger.
Younger looking. I thought you said better looking. I was like, you.
I know how you are, Dave. I know Tom Brady's.
I would opt for a polyamorous relationship and marry them both. So
Tom
you're
Brady.
moving to Utah?
Yeah, I'll do it. So that podcast is up. Check that out. And also, the very next day, we released the 4-Star Sports Bar review, which took place at the Lionheart Tavern in Nyack, Connecticut. Pretty interesting review. It scored a lot higher than I anticipated it to while we were eating there. And then came out that we actually really kind of enjoyed the place, like secretly really enjoyed it. So you can check that podcast out. All right, so that's all I got. If you guys want to wrap up, feel free.
I didn't put out a podcast.
No, I didn't.
So Connecticut.
Yeah, you guys want to explain the natural disaster we went through?
It's not even like, not to be an asshole, but like we've gone through hurricanes,
but that was it.
And this hasn't happened.
Yeah. Right. So it just was really windy one night, and it knocked out the power for the entire state of Connecticut for
just fucking 2
multiple days, including the day I recorded the podcast on. So I'm sorry.
Well, you record on Monday nights.
Yes.
Right. I was without power Monday night.
I was without power
And how
Monday
far
night.
away do you live from me?
Numerous miles, probably like 30.
No, but by how many minutes does it take you to get
it's
home?
at least half an hour.
So half an hour away in distance.
Right.
He's without power. I'm without power.
Right.
I was out power
You
Monday
live
night.
20 minutes away,
20, yeah.
25 minutes away.
Opposite direction.
You're
Opposite
opposite
direction.
direction.
Right.
You were without power.
Yeah, I'm like 50 minutes from your house.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So
Right.
it's just.
It was wide sweep.
But it's
You know
not
what,
even
to
like
be
the
honest with you-
shoreline. Because obviously him and I
Is it
got
weird?
hit and we're not on the shore.
Is it weird that I think you might actually live closer to me than Aaron?
in a miles.
In like a time way, because
Because
it's
it's
all
395
highway,
and then
and I have to take.
Back roads to
Yeah.
get to me.
Yeah. That makes sense. That's one of those weird things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Connecticut.
It's Connecticut for you.
Any steals of the week that I'm going to need to use on my fantasy team? Did you do any research on it? Because I mean, you couldn't use it's not like you could use your internet to find anything.
I think we talked about it briefly. If you're going to do quarterbacks, I like. I think you can play Drew Stanton this week versus San Francisco because this defense is bad. Josh McCown, I'd probably still play versus Buffalo.
That's what I had to pick up.
I know at
quarterback.
first I was like, fuck that, because Buffalo's defense has been good, but they've actually been giving up passing yards. They've just been getting turnovers. So I'd probably still play Josh McCown. Tyrod Taylor is a really good stream because he's playing the Jets, the opposite side of that.
Yeah.
And
I was gonna say
Jacoby Brissett versus Houston, I'm not super afraid of.
Yeah, I was gonna say I almost picked him up.
So for quarterback
Ride that way
streams,
for a while.
defensive streams,
Yeah.
I like the Cardinals' defense against San Francisco.
Okay.
I like
I don't, but
who's
that's because of my
playing.
pick.
Who's playing Denver?
Who was that?
Denver is the Eagles.
Yep, the Eagles is are a good defense to play, and there was one other one. Oh, the Bills versus the Jets. I know I just said you could play McCown, but they still get turnovers. Like I said, they have 2 turnovers in every game this year except for 1.
And that Thursday night offense.
Yeah, so
It's tough. Yeah. So
Okay.
those are my streamers.
nice.
To pick up people, I mean, there's
What's
Kenyon
his,
Drake,
I was gonna say, what's his name's back?
the guy who's
from Jacksonville. He's finally like off the injured.
Fournette.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, he's not available.
I mean, he's not available, but
Kenyon Drake is the big one because they traded away Ajayi, so someone has to run the ball in Miami.
Yeah, good point. Yeah.
oh yeah,
So Kenyon Drake is probably available. I picked him up in pretty much every league I'm in
There you go.
because he's starting running. Or well, it's him or Damian Williams, whichever one. I think Kenyon Drake's just more talented. So
Yeah.
cool. I might have to use some of those.
I'm gonna pick him up right now.
yeah,
actually.
no,
Thanks,
yeah,
Joey.
It's a good pick.
Thanks, Joey.
What about you? You got WCP coming out this week?
I will. I will be doing that. Doing that, man. Like just trying to focus on that, and
Fantasy field goal back next
yeah,
week.
fantasy field goal will be back next week. Be another
Boxy Boys.
yeah,
Another Boxy,
Boxy
Boys.
Boys.
Who's on the show this week? Do you know? Jerry's booked.
Jerry's booked.
Jerry's booked. You're on the clock. Jerry's booked.
You're on the
Jerry's
clock.
booked.
That should be a T-shirt, by the way.
And
it is
also,
or not, it is.
and
But it's the
we won't be
4-star
doing
thing.
a podcast before then. I will. By the time we record again for the BS Nerds, I will officially be 30.
Oh wow, that's
yeah,
right.
your
Yeah,
birthday.
Yeah, my birthday's next Monday.
that's right.
It's Monday coming up.
There you
So
go.
I won't wish you happy birthday until we record again.
okay.
There you go.
Jeff
belated.
at work, Jeff B,
Yeah,
came up to me. He's like, "Hey, I'm gonna forget. Happy birthday."
he did the
and
same thing
walked
to
away.
me. He did the same thing to me. You know, he was like, "Hey, happy birthday." I was like, "It's not till Tuesday." He's like, "Yeah, whatever."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Okay, all right."
I said
enough.
to him, I was like, "Okay, you can be the first one to say it."
Yeah, I respect it.
Yeah.
I respect it.
Oh, we'll talk about it after.
All right.
All right,
Ooh,
man.
a little cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Let's see. All right. Yeah, bum, bum. Yeah, that you're on the clock is definitely like the 4-star slogan.
Yeah,
Thing.
yeah.
We
You're
like
on the
post
clock.
on Facebook. Hey, whoever, you're on the clock.
Yeah, I
whoever.
like it. I like
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Good night, ladies and gentlemen.
Have a good night, everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages.